Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup. Hey, all you little gremlins, what's going on today? Elks home opener this evening. They're playing the Montreal Alouettes. Hopefully no rain for game time. Looking not too bad. Of course, the Elks trying to win their home opener for the first time since, before a little thing called COVID. We got plenty of tee up for that game tonight. At 6 o'clock, Jason Milne, he's sticking around today. Jason Milne is going to be on the air with Matthew Iwanek. They have the Green and Gold kickoff show from 6 to 7. Games at 7. Then they're on after the game for the Green and Gold post-game show as the 0-1 Elks take on the very good 2-0 Montreal Alouettes. It's on a lever. It's on. You kind of move it in and out.
It's never had a squeak.
Yeah, the mics are all a kilter today.
A kilter?
Somebody was messing with this. I guess they're already taking things apart for our move to our new location.
Whoa!
What? Oh, you didn't know that?
I guess Dusty did let the cat out of the bag.
Dusty's talked about it on his show.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
Well, you're often the last to know. You were on probation for quite a long time.
This is true.
Anyway,
I don't blame them.
The Edmonton Oilers, certain players spoke with the media today. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was not one of them, but it was revealed that he was playing with a broken hand as the playoffs went on, so that was pretty tough for him. So we'll have some clips from Connor McDavid. We'll have some comments from Leon Draisaitl, Corey Perry, Evan Bouchard, Trent Frederic, who I didn't even bother cutting a clip for him when asked about a contract extension because it was a mumbly 2-second reply just basically saying that they're talking about something. So that's still not official, but obviously heavily rumored that he's getting an 8-year deal worth $3.84 million per year, something like that. But we'll get through some of those comments. We'll break down what Connor McDavid said as well as he is eligible to sign a contract extension after July 1st. Remember last summer, Leon Draisaitl was eligible to sign a contract extension. It didn't happen until the day after Labor Day. You remember that day, Jay? Because this is the first time we did a live show together on Edmonton Sports Talk. We had a pretty big news story. So that was September? That was Tuesday September 3rd.
Yeah.
Tuesday, September 3rd.
I'll never forget that day, Reid.
Well, nor should you.
The best.
Coob wasn't here. Coob was on holidays, remember?
Coob was on holidays.
We had a Wannock with us.
Coob was on holidays. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
Uwanook,
who, okay. Hey, I'm the COO, everybody. I take care of the operations of the office. I'm going to go buy a new printer for the office. Guess what he didn't come back from this trip with?
Oh, boy.
A new printer. That's okay. We'll just go handwritten. We'll just go handwritten notes for the time being.
I do appreciate his dedication to the craft of finding the exact printer. He's a stubborn man.
Yeah, which is fine.
But in that position, that's a great person to be, the most stubborn in the office as your chief operating officer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You need to be stubborn and set in your way.
Yeah, that's fair.
So kudos to
and thrifty when needed. So I guess if he didn't think it was worth getting a new printer, we just got to believe in him.
I appreciate his patience.
We just have to blindly follow him.
I would not have that. I would have said, which one is the best one here? I'm taking it.
So we have a lot to talk to today, and thanks for continuing to check out the show. Yes, the Oilers are not playing for a few months. Well, 3 months. There will be preseason games in about 3 months already.
Oh, my gosh.
What camp usually starts between September 15th and 20th. But we will have a lot of comments from the rink today. Some of that will be part of the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel. We're going to have Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta. We will have one of our regulars on the station here, Jed Roberts, on to discuss the Elks home opener, to give his final thoughts on the Oilers season. He always had very astute observations throughout the season. And we have a brand new feature, and the individual is going to join us at about 20 after 5 this afternoon. It's the Athlete of the Week presented by Pasta Pantry. For over 30 years in Sherwood Park, Pasta Pantry has served hot, delicious comfort food made right in our kitchen, and we do it so fast so you can slow down. We're a family, and when you come to Pasta Pantry, you're one of us. Go check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal. So Pasta Pantry jumping on board to sponsor this. I'm going to love doing these interviews. I know you will as well, Jay. These are going to be, we envision this to be a variety of sports.
Yes.
A variety of ages.
Yes.
Is it football today primarily?
Football, grade 10.
Grade 10 football today.
That's where we're going today.
Okay, that'll be a fun way to start it off. So that's what we're going to do today. And this is the great thing. And I used to love this when I did Inside Sports. Sometimes you get an email and say, hey, Reid, can I tell you about somebody? Can I introduce you to somebody? And I'd be like, wow, that's great. Is there someone else I can talk to, find out some more? And then, I wound up doing some great interviews out of this. So this is a lot of this, maybe not every single athlete, but a fair chunk of this is going to be audience generated content. So how do they do that? How do they get in touch, Jay?
Yeah, you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see it's just a generic contact us form. But if you put in the header Athlete of the Week or in the body, we'll figure it out. We've got very smart people here that are running those things. One of them is the coup, actually. But it'll make its way to me, and I put together a folder. I mean, I'm getting quite a few submissions. I had 2 more submitted this morning. A brother and sister, actually, that are doing some pretty cool things. It's awesome. And if you just want to email me, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, I'll get that as well.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Which is actually how the person that nominated today's Athlete of the Week got in touch with me.
They just sent you an email.
Sent me an email.
Yeah, a lot of ways to reach us. So jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. That is REID. And you can also just submit other things there. A lot of people send in limericks they're hoping to get read on the show. You can send show feedback, show observations, discussion points maybe you hope that we get to on the show. Emailing is fine. Texting is fine, 780-218-9999, using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all you can eat, prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. If you're listening to us on one of the audio streaming apps, awesome. TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. I use iHeart. I don't know why I picked it, but it's great. I was listening to the Nielsen show and part of the hangout this morning as I was getting ready to go to the rink for the Oilers availabilities. If you click on one of the shows, like there's a follow button, then you're automatically subscribed to the podcast, so you're not going to miss a thing. So that's pretty cool. And you can also check us out on YouTube. Edmonton Sports Talk has its own channel. We're approaching 13,000 subscribers, so make sure you get in there and subscribe. There's a chat there. We call it the Nasty Chat, or sometimes for fun, I call it the Diabolical Dialogue. Most of that is many of you just talking with each other, which is nice. Sometimes we might read one. Sometimes I might see a Florida Panthers fan entering the chat the day after his team won the Stanley Cup just to say nasty things about Oilers fans and about Edmonton.
Yes.
And we might tolerate a little bit of that because we do want to make people feel like they can express themselves. But there are certain words that if I see, you're just done. And hopefully I click on the right account, because yesterday I banned someone I shouldn't have banned. Hopefully he's back today. But hopefully that Panthers fan is not back today as well.
The big Uke is back.
You don't have to be a fan of the Oilers, Elks, U of A, whoever, to listen to us and be in our chat. You could even say, hey, I like this team.
Fine.
You could even take little jabs. But if you start using certain words that if we wouldn't say it on the air, we're probably not going to let it go in the chat. There's a certain decorum. But I apologize to that. It was the big uke I accidentally banned yesterday. Jasmine says, I literally had like 15 people subscribe in Kelowna. I enjoy how she writes, how she talks.
Yeah.
I literally had like 15 people subscribe in Kelowna. Thank you, Jasmine. What is this one guy? Sarek So? Did I say that right?
I think so.
Is he trying to get us? Sometimes people make their handles a naughty word and try to trick us into saying it. It does work. He says, I shot 77 Tuesday Could I be athlete of the week? Sarek, so it depends what you shot on the back nine and how you did on the windmill hole. That's.
I was hoping you'd see that one, Friedrich.
Yes, I did. I did see that one. Well, there is nothing. I suppose there is nothing to stop you from nominating yourself as athlete of the week. That might be one of the things, though, that is not against the letter of the law, but against the spirit of the law.
The spirit of the competition.
Yeah, the spirit of the law might suggest that the spirit of the athlete of the week might suggest you're nominating another person, not try looking for your own glory.
Maybe have your wife nominate you or your child. That would be all time.
Yeah, or something like that.
My dad broke 100 for the first time.
That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, but for something like that, we need a story behind it.
There needs to be.
And I used to say this, and I should clarify this. Sending in a nomination is not going to guarantee that person gets on, because if we do this once a week, we're going to have 52, maybe 50 if we miss Christmas week or what. So we're going to have around 50. So we may have more than 50 nominations, which is fine. And there needs to be a story behind it. So we are going to find from this is that there are a lot of people who are good at a lot of different sports, but every kid who wins provincials isn't going to get on, right? Like there's got to be a bit of a catch. We still got to be storytellers. There still has to be a bit of a headline to the story. So yes, you somebody breaking 100. Now, here's the difference with a 38-year-old person breaking 100 for the first time in golf.
Meh.
Okay. A 4-year-old kid. Okay, maybe him and his mom or dad are coming on.
Or what about a 138 year old person,
right,
breaking 100 for the first time?
Right.
That would be a story.
That would be the story.
The story.
But we're excited to do Athlete of the Week for Past the Pantry, and the first one will be coming up later in the show. I have not seen Sarek So N in the Nasty Chat before. Probably someone with a sense of humor I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Though Sarek, so I'm not going to read all your stuff on air, even if it makes me laugh, but because you're off to a good start today. He says, I also played pickleball with no shirt indoors. Again, an accomplishment. Athlete of the Week material. We'll see. We'll see. Brad Marchand in the Nasty Chat saying, I was made for this moment. I can tell you right now, Brad Marchand ruled out as an Athlete of the Week for Past the Pantry. Ruled out. I'm making that call right now.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Ruled out. Write that down. Make a note to yourself.
Note here.
So like in in September when you're checking your emails, you're like,
I'm just.
This guy named Brad says he won a major golf championship or a major hockey championship last year, and he wants to be our Athlete of the Week.
Nope. Not on our show.
What's his email? bmarchand63 at yahoo.com.
No, at FloridaPanthers.com.
No, he probably still has like, what was before Hotmail even?
Ooh.
Like a MySpace?
No,
that's not an email.
Like Yahoo was around.
Yahoo and Hotmail.
What about Alta Vista?
Yeah, that's what Brad Marchand, bmarchand63 at altavista.com.
Yeah.
That's probably his email.
He probably still uses Ask Jeeves.
Oh my God, or Dogpile, wasn't that a thing? Was it Dogpile a search? Was Dogpile a search engine?
I've never heard of Dogpile.
Where's Hernan? Was Dogpile ever a search engine along the lines of Yahoo and Google? I thought there was something called Dogpile. Maybe it was actually a website I went to that just was literally pictures of dogs in a pile. Oh, these 12 poodles thought they were organized. Not so much. All right.
Oh, yeah, AOL.
AOL, maybe that's what I was thinking of.
He says, I have an AOL.
An ICQ account. Yeah, it's nice. Brad Marchand still listening to the show even 2 days after he helped the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. John Carlos says, Dogpile sounds like a sketchy, inappropriate website. I realized that once I kept saying it out loud, though I seem to remember a website. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Sniff Dog. Dog Sniff. You're searching for a website. I don't know. So anyway, if you're in the chat on YouTube, thanks for doing so. Chat with us. Chat with others. And if you're on YouTube, smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up. Let's see how high we can get today. Certainly, we're going to keep our standard alive of getting to 155 thumbs for a double word of the day. And if everybody got in there and clicked right away, we'd be on the cusp of that based on the numbers we're seeing. So don't be a pleasure layer. Click, because we want to do a double word of the day before we sign off at 6 o'clock and transition into our green and gold kickoff show. Now, couple things. Usually I just play the song, but today I'll talk a little bit about the song. How many months ago now? Probably at least 3?
Oh,
3 or
more
4.
than that.
I mean, we're coming up to 10 months of doing the show already.
More than that.
So I was talking about clicking for thumbs, and I spur of the moment made funny noises, and Coob cut it, and now it's become a thing. Oh, hang on. I'm not getting anything.
Must
there we
you
go.
click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
And now we've had people saying that they do that on their own, or the one guy, didn't he say that his dog was out sniffing and wouldn't pee, and the wife was like, what'd the dog do outside? And he was like, sniff, sniff, sniff.
Yeah.
And then we had Colin the Amishman do this.
Sub. Must you sub? Please sub. Must you sub? You must sub. Subscribe.
So that's for subscriptions. And now, what is this new thing? You know more about this than I do, Jay.
Well, this came in. Remember the other day there was somebody that wrote that Gregorian song for the Oilers heading into Game 6.
Yes.
Well, it was good, and so he sent in another one. It was him and his wife have written these and put them together and sent them over. I think it's done through AI.
Okay.
But he sent this little ditty over.
Click. Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click.
All right. So it goes on, but that's sort of the meat of it.
That's pretty good.
So this is the last thing we ever expected to happen, that people would try to do their own versions of the thumb click song and remixes.
It's fantastic. It's taken
So-
on a life of its own.
But hearing that yesterday gave me an idea for the off-topic topic. And we do this every day at around this time. It is the off-topic topic presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. The off-topic topic is, what cover of a song is better than the original? What cover of a song is better than the original? I got one right off the top.
Ooh, do you?
Hurt by Johnny Cash. Oh, that was yours too, Coop? Was that actually yours?
Yes.
Because Coop came up to me today.
That was yours, Coob?
That was mine, yeah.
Wow.
Because Coop came up to me today. He'd seen the lineup and he saw the off-topic topic, and he's like, Reid, I got one. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't ask what it was. Now, I often ignore Coob when he talks anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, most people.
So he's used to that.
Yeah,
okay.
But I was like, so we picked the same one. That was, of course, originally a 9 Inch Nails song.
That's right.
And Johnny Cash did it, I believe, shortly before he passed away. And I think, I believe Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails has even said that's not our song anymore. Like, Johnny nailed it. Like,
Yeah, and
incredible.
And he wrote it at such an emotional time for himself. Like, it is such a powerful song with the lyrics, and he had so much of his own life written into it, but Johnny Cash just, took it and ran with it. Johnny Cash didn't actually want to do the song originally. He signed a deal with, I think it was Columbia Records or something like that, to do a 5-album thing with any song that he really wanted to do. And one guy in his group, in his corner, was really pushing this song, and he ended up doing it.
All right.
2 jumped out for me.
Okay.
Although I like, that's a great example. That sets the tone of where we want to go here. Whiskey in the Jar. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was originally performed by the Dubliners.
Well, that's an old,
It's an old song.
Is
It's
it
like
a Welsh
it's like
or
it's like an
something? It's a
Irish
folk song.
folk song.
Right.
Then Thin Lizzy also covered it.
Right.
But I obviously prefer the Metallica version. And then All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. That was originally a Bob Dylan song.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are two that jump out to me.
Bronco Nick, I Will Always Love You, Whitney versus Dolly. Barry the Cheater, Turn the Page, Metallica. Was Turn the Page somebody else? I didn't realize that.
Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
Disturbed did one.
That's a good one.
Who originally did Turn the Page?
I'm not sure that far. Brett
All right.
Fan's also another Metallica cover.
Fallout Boy did We Didn't Start the Fire, better than Billy Joel. You Really Got Me by Van Halen. Yeah, that's a good one. Was it the Kinks that did the original one? Can't remember.
What about this one, Reid? Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
I don't know that one.
You know the song Blinded by the Light?
Yes.
Well, that was a Bruce Springsteen cover
Oh, really? Okay.
by Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Oh, sorry. I thought Earth Band was the name of the song. I was
No.
confused. Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal from the Michael Jackson song. Though the Michael Jackson song and the video is legendary.
It is, but I like the tone of the Alien Ant Farm performance.
And did they do
better.
like a backyard wrestling video or
it
something
was,
like that?
And it was kind of catchy.
True.
But he still kept Big Uke. See, here's the thing. Big Uke makes a great point that Luke Combs did a really great job with Fast Car it was Tracy Chapman, right?
Well, Big Uke better be careful he doesn't get banned today. I'm putting him in a 10
But here's the
second
thing:
timeout.
is
No, I'm not.
I can't honestly say that I think that was better than the original. Although I like the way Luke Combs did it, this I think it's just too close. I like both.
All right, we're getting some good submissions in the nasty chat already. So the off-topic topic is what cover of a song is better than the original? Because those click
Oh,
songs
my.
are probably better than my original.
Turn the Page by Bob Seger is like winning. And there was people were saying Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I like the Chris Cornell version of that better?
No. Because when she did it, had Prince recorded it already, or did he just write it? I don't even know that for sure.
It's come up enough times to make me
I guess. Okay.
without being
I guess
able
we
to
could look this up, but people like looking stuff up as well.
Yeah, and then Turn the Page by Metallica, I think is winning. But then was Seeger's Turn the Page a cover of another song?
I don't know. I don't know this one.
And then Metallica covered Seeger's version?
I guess Metallica has the most recent one, don't they?
They do, I believe.
This is going to be fun. So what cover of a song is better than the original? That is the off-topic
I
topic.
can hear the internet buzzing, Reid.
Yeah, people. JT Shark says Prince wrote it. Nothing Compares to You, but someone else performed it first, and then it got to Sinead O'Connor. I guess that's the path. That is the path of the song. That's another book in my series.
Van Owen says Seeger wrote it, Metallica covered it. Okay.
Reid Wilkins and the Path of the Song. What are all my books again, Coob? I just remember the first one. Reid Wilkins and the Chamber of Thoughts.
That's my favorite one. That's the only one I
the
remember.
original is the best one. Sort of introduced all the characters. Yeah.
That's all you need, really.
Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. That's an excellent cover.
Yeah, this is good. We're learning a lot of stuff. You know,
I just wish we could play every one of these damn songs.
I just really like learning.
Nirvana, the man who sold the world.
You are so learned.
Learned, son. It's pronounced learned.
Sorry, Coop.
I said Nirvana, the man who sold the world. David Bowie cover.
Oh, right. Yeah.
See, I saw that on a list. I still don't know what Nirvana song that is, so I'll have to Google it.
It's a good one.
All right. Well, there's a lot coming in. We'll get to as many as we can. We do have to get to some comments by Connor McDavid. We'll break those down, perhaps overanalyze them, but we got to talk about what the game's greatest player is saying about his next contract. Again, you can get in touch. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. We are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. Here's Zach.
The Oilers held their exit meetings today. Connor McDavid saying that he's in no rush to get a deal done with the Oilers just yet, while adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was battling a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup final. Staying at Edmonton, the Elks have their home opener against the Alouettes. Matt Iwanek and Jay Milne preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show. It starts at 6 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Thunder can win the Larry O'Brien Trophy tonight with a win in Game 6 on the road against the Pacers. Tip-off is at 6:30. From Calgary, the Stingers challenge the 7-2 Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams with action going at 7:30. In baseball, the Jays are down 9-2 against the Diamondbacks through 7 innings. One other game is live with the Guardians up 1-0 in the 5th over the Giants. And back in E-Town, the Riverhawks and Bells have their series closer. Hawks winning 6-4 yesterday. First pitch is scheduled for 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. The boys roll on with the show once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Two guys and a goalie.
There's the diehards, and I classify myself in that kind of column because I'd have friends call me. I'd have my family come, they'd know not to knock on my door because I'd be rattled, and I'd go for walks. I'm not much of a walker. I'd kick rocks on my walks. I'm not even joking. Like, it would seriously
Two guys
bother
and a
me.
goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the Banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Just like the boys of summer keep their gear in top shape, you can keep your stuff safe with Sentinel Storage.
Hit a home run with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click.
Imagine someone listening to the station for the first time. Oh my goodness. Who made that again?
I forget his handle. Dang.
Pretty good.
Really good.
Pretty good. So yeah, that's the new Thumb Click. So we got the original Thumb Click. We got the Thumb Click remix. That's Thumb Click After Dark.
It's the re-remix.
Thumb Click After Dark. Well, that's what we'll call that one.
Yeah.
So if you're watching on YouTube, click that thumbs up button. Give us a like. We want to get to 155. So here's the thing. 100 just basically to show that you have a pulse. That's not for our benefit. That's for yours. We're over halfway to 100 already. 130.
Show that you have dexterity.
Yes. 100. You know how to use a mouse. 130 Word of the day, 155 double word of the day, 200 you're still fully invested. Those were playoff numbers. We think we can still hit them, but let's get to at least 155. All right. The off-topic topic is, we'll keep compiling these maybe because we read a few already. Which cover version of a song is better than the original? That is the off-topic topic for William Huff.
There's so many.
This is awesome. So the Oilers players wrapping things up today. Connor McDavid, important part of the team. Few things to get to. Contract extension. He can sign one after July 1st. He's going into the final year of his contract. So if he doesn't have a contract next July 1st, he'd be an unrestricted free agent. He was a few comments here. He was kind of just asked generally about signing an extension.
As you said, it's only been a couple of days since the season ended. Take some time to regroup. Talk to my agent a little bit and family and all that, and make some decisions whenever that time comes. But there's no rush on anything like that.
Okay, so we're going to make this buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. I think it would have been a dream come true for Oilers fans if McDavid would have come out and said, this is the only place I want to play. This is the only place I ever want to play. I wish it were July 1st now. Let's sign the extension. Pay me whatever you want. Or don't want. I'll sign it. That's the one end of the scale. Very unlikely that was going, to be fair, everybody. I do think he's going to sign an extension. I get the feeling most people think he's going to sign it. Well, maybe not most people. I feel like most I won't even say that. I feel like he's going to sign an extension. I always have. But one end of the spectrum would have been for him to come out and say, it's all but done. I've been negotiating it all year. July 1st, I'll sign it. I'm going to be locked in for another 8 years after that. The other end of the spectrum would have him saying, you only get one chance to be an unrestricted free agent. I'm going to have that chance when I'm 29 and still in the prime of my career. I'll be going to free agency next summer. Maybe I'll sign with the Oilers. Maybe I won't. The reason I'm framing this, everybody, is because framing it this way is because I think some of you, maybe not all of you, but I see a little bit of some of you maybe weren't happy with what McDavid heard or wished he would have been more definitive. But when I present the two extremes, it's actually pretty realistic and logical what he said, I think.
Well, name a time or a player that has come out and said that. Your agent would fire him or herself.
Right.
You just don't do that.
Right.
Right? This is still a negotiation, and Connor McDavid has all of the leverage. And there's a thought that, hey, Connor McDavid's gonna take a little bit less than maybe what he should or what he can. That's up to Connor. But that is 100% up to Connor.
Yeah.
Because right now, he's got the keys to the kingdom in his hand. Now, you're absolutely right in saying, and we're going to get to some more clips, right?
Yeah, there's more. Just starting there. Yeah.
Just starting there. But you're absolutely right in saying, because I'll tell you what, you listeners out there, you have heard players say that. You have heard players say, yeah, I think it's best for us to just check out what free agency has to offer.
Right. Usually not a year ahead of time, though he could actually say that if he wanted to.
Sure he could.
Yeah.
For the following season. That would be not a great decision, but you get what we're putting in front of you.
Yeah. I think also, because at the end of that clip, he said there's no rush. And I think that's important to remember. And this is something Jay and I often talk about. And I think most people get this. But when you're a fan of a team and you love a player, you want everything settled. So, again, the ideal for an Oilers fan would be McDavid's locked up. But when McDavid says there's no rush, now, look, Jay, neither you nor I know what it's like to be Connor McDavid.
Thank God.
But I try to think, okay, why would there be a rush if you're him? Okay, what did you just do? You spent the last 9 months fully committed to being a hockey player for the Edmonton Oilers, which he's done most of his life. But he's gone through this. He's gone through the Stanley Cup final. I know these guys are well paid, but there are sacrifices. There are physical risks. There's travel. There's time away from family and loved ones. So he didn't get the ultimate goal, but now his role in life changes. You and I have talked about this. Sometimes you're Jay Milne, the colleague. Sometimes you got to be more Jay Milne, the husband. Sometimes you got to be more Jay Milne, the dad. I'm lucky I get to be Reid the goofball all the time. But Connor McDavid, now maybe he realizes, hey, I got to be Connor McDavid, the husband and the son and the brother, a little more than Connor McDavid, the hockey player, now that the season's over, right? So I don't know what he has promised to people. I'm sure he'd like to spend some time with his parents and his brother. I'm sure he and his wife have plans. I'm sure maybe he'd say, hey, I'm going to make my priority helping you with your new place or whatever, right? I'm sure he'd like to take a trip. I'm sure his body needs some rest.
No, you know what he'd like to do?
And he probably has commitments with sponsors and appearances in the summer. So when he says no rush, I don't want people to think, well, why isn't he rushing? I'm saying because Connor McDavid can probably say to Jeff Jackson or Stan Bowman or even Daryl Cates, he could probably say, hey, I know it's important. It's important to me too, but I need to do these other things in my life. And let's talk August 15th. We're back in, you know what I mean? So just try to think of it that way as opposed to why isn't he signing it? Why doesn't he spend 24 hours a day to go? What are his agent doing? It's okay.
Chill out.
Leon's took till September. It's okay. Ignore the people from other markets speculating on where he's going to go next. Ignore the AI on media, the AI on social media generating fake stories. There isn't a rush. I'm sure it'll happen this summer. It doesn't have to happen at noon on July 1st. That's all I'm saying.
And keep in mind, we're not even 48 hours out of the season.
That's a good point,
right?
They still had the chance to win the Stanley Cup.
They could have been playing for game 7 of the Stanley Cup final tomorrow. I don't think his mind is anywhere else but just trying to get over that and deal with that. That takes a lot of time when you're as passionate and committed of a player as Connor McDavid is. We had a eulogy that we did yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. Well, these players, that takes time to get over a season where you pour in everything you got into a season and you don't get the ultimate goal. That takes some time. They will grieve that. So the last thing he would like to talk about, I would imagine, is anything to do with re-signing anywhere or with anyone.
Yeah. Now, sorry.
No.
There were other comments. That was sort of the starting off point. Here's another clip from McDavid, kind of about the core of the team. He, Draisaitl, Nurse, Nugent Hopkins have been together a while, and then he sort of talks about some other things.
This core has been together for a long time, and we've been building to this moment, all along. The work that's gone on behind the scenes, the conversations, the endless, disappointments and some good times along the way, obviously, as well. We're all in this together, trying to get it over that finish line. With that being said, ultimately, still need to do what's best for me and my family, and that's who you have to take care of first. But of course, there's unfinished business here.
Yeah. Well, I think that's important. Unfinished business. I think these guys want to win together.
Of course they do. I don't know. You or I don't really fully know, Reid, but you've been around this team for an awful lot of years. We've all been around sports and sports teams and how tight that bond is. These are playing at the highest level of hockey that you can play at.
Yeah.
And they've been, as you said, that core has been together for a long time. Of course they want to finish this job together. And it's not like Connor's going to be asked to take a pay cut. He could get whatever he wants.
Good point.
Okay?
Yeah.
So just everybody keep this in mind. He also did say, we are in this together. to get this over the finish line. And then, as you alluded to, unfinished business. This sounds to me like a player who is pissed off that they didn't get it done this year. And who wouldn't be? He deserves the right to remember it however he wants. But to jump to, and here's the other thing, Reid, that we haven't really, we talked about it a bit yesterday, but a lot of this noise comes from outside of this market.
Of course it does.
I mean, I saw TSN put something out yesterday. What's it going to take to get Connor to Florida? Well, folks, I got news for you. That ain't happening. I mean, go. Here's what you should do. Spend an hour or maybe even a half an hour on Puckpedia. Just go around and look at numbers that other teams are up against. And you find a spot that Connor McDavid's going to be able to fit into. And that applies to Edmonton as well. Now, this does not need to be signed for next year. This would just be a signing for the following season. The cap's going to go up by then. The Oilers roster is going to look different by then. So that's not as much of an issue. But, when you put all these things together, and Reid, I thought you did an excellent job on that clip because I thought that was quite resounding to me.
We got a couple more clips from McDavid as we'll keep going with buying or selling, presented by Damon Bunting. We have Draisaitl, Bouchard, Frederic, and Perry comments in the hopper as well. Is that proper use of the word hopper?
Oh, yeah.
Like is that what you call where you do the bingo balls?
I don't know. I would always refer to as a hopper as like a grain storage.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't use it correctly.
But yeah, throw it in there. We'll throw it in the hopper.
Jay's play of the day is coming up next as well for Play Alberta. Here comes the Coob.
Connor McDavid and company spoke during the Oilers exit meeting today. McDavid saying he's in no rush to sign an extension with the Oilers, adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was fighting through a broken hand during the Stanley Cup final. From Commonwealth, the Elks go head-to-head against the Alouettes for their home opener. Tune in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Matt Iwanek and Jay Milne tee up the action, coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. On the road, the Thunder and Pacers clash in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. OKC with its first chance to clinch the championship. Game starting at 6:30. For the Singers, they meet the Surge in Calgary. Tip-off at 7:30 with EST's audio streams carrying the entire game. And MLB action has 2 games live. Toronto trailing 9-5 entering the 9th inning against the Diamondbacks. Elsewhere, San Francisco is down 1-0 to the Guardians in the bottom of the 6th. Meanwhile, Edmonton host Bellingham Riverhawks picking up a 6-4 win last night. Their series closer starts just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up, or you can drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. Jay's Play of the Day talking some Elks is up next here on The Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The oil stream.
I talked about that last night. I used Corey Perry as an example. That guy at 40 years old, fantastic what he did. But
you made a good point on that last night. I remember that.
Yeah, and I used him as an example. I said, well, he's 40 years old and he's your top line right winger. I know it should be Zach Hyman. That wasn't possible due to the injury, but that is something that will need to be looked at.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Zachary Kubish along for the ride as well. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. This show goes until 6 o'clock tonight. Then at 6, the live stream continues with Jason, with Matthew Awanek, as they have the Green and Gold kickoff show leading into the Elks and the Alouettes. I'll be driving over to my parents, and we'll be walking over to Commonwealth Stadium to take in, I don't even know how many years we're up season ticket holders since 97. What is that, 27 years? There was 1 year there wasn't a year. It's fun.
Been a while. Been a long time. Good for you.
Yeah, it's neat. Nice going to the games. All right, the off-topic topic for William Huff. What cover of a song is better than the original?
The Liquid Beaver said Motorhead did David Bowie's song Heroes. Take a listen. If you haven't, it'll give you goosebumps. Still a lot of Metallica, Seeger. My brother-in-law texted me. He said Zach Brown band, Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Okay.
All right. Have to give it a listen.
JT Shark says, FYI, whiskey in the jar dates back to the 1700s in Ireland. Did Brody do any covers? I've seen a couple people ask that in the chat. Your band Brody / North Shore.
Yeah, we did Ballroom Blitz.
Right.
Coob, you can actually access Ballroom Blitz, I think. Yeah, we did a cover. Tube Socks, off-topic topic. Waylon Jennings' version of the Marshall Tucker band's Can't You See? It's superior. Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I hear you. Reid, something we got to do too, because we don't want to let this get away too far. One of the listeners, Dave C780, has offered up a pair of tickets to tonight Elks games.
Or
Elks game. He cannot go. So we're going to do an impromptu. I'm going to put you on the spot. How about that?
You want me to come up with a trivia question?
Yeah, bang one out.
All right. What was the score in last year's Grey Cup? Team.
All right.
So the winning team score and the losing team score. You got to identify the two teams as well.
And yeah.
What was the score in the 2024 Grey Cup you'll get 2 digital tickets to the game tonight?
Yeah, I'll get I'll connect with you. So send those into the River Crew Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. And I will get you your email and send it off to Dave, and he'll send you over the tickets.
All right. Good. So we're doing some brokering here,
aren't we?
Third party wheeling and dealing.
Thanks, Dave, for the tickets.
Yeah, thanks
you
for
know
the
what?
tickets.
It's looking like it's going to be a nice evening.
Yeah, I think there's still a slight chance of rain at 7 o'clock, but I think well below 50%. And certainly not like this morning. My goodness,
that was
So I drove to the arena, and then I walk, depending on what door I go into, I walk 1 to 2 blocks to get into Rogers Place. And I was like, I better take my umbrella.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, to walk a block and a half.
Yeah, you would have been soaked.
Yes.
Of course, this is when you get rains like this, it's that time that you find out some of your gutters are plugged.
Oh, right.
So it's like a rite of passage around the Milne house for me to be out in my rain jacket and a ladder at 9 in the morning.
Go to work.
Yeah. Well, looks like those pine trees have done their job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, to get the Elks tickets put forward by a listener of ours, was it Dave C? 780. You got to text in the right answer. So you have it there. You've looked it up, I assume. Well, the score in last year's Grey Cup. Yes. So who got him?
Okay, we've got a winner. I don't know who it is.
Well, we won't say the right answer yet because you got to coordinate the winner.
Okay.
All right. Let's do. Oh my goodness! Is it time already? This is so exciting.
It's Jay. It's play. He's Jay. It's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code EST Casino for a $50 casino bonus.
I saw a live odds putting out in the nasty chat earlier on if I danced to my song.
What?
Yeah. Somebody put odds on it.
That's funny.
So I wanted to buck the trend, so I didn't dance to my song.
Oh, that's why you were.
That's why I was so stoic.
Stilly looking. I thought I did something wrong the way you were looking at me. It's like, was that not what we had planned here? What's happening?
No. So we're gonna go with this. You guys have heard me say this. You're gonna hear it again on the Green and Gold Kickoff Show from 6 to 7 with myself and Matthew Awanek. Is that the Elks need to run the damn ball?
Right.
They've got Justin Rankin. He is good. They've got Brett Boyko back in the lineup. So they've got their starting five back in. Being down there this week, I've talked to several players, coaches, that they all say they've gotten it figured out. They've got it together. The game plan will be there. Everybody in that building wants to run the ball. So I proposed something to the good people over at Play Alberta today. Once again, player props aren't up on Play Alberta yet. We're hoping they will. Okay. But for now, you couldn't just go and say Justin Rankin this many yards.
Okay.
But with me, you can.
Oh, nice.
So I went and threw out the number 75 yards.
Oh, that's lots.
I read and immediately said, "Can I bet the under?" Look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, this is not an exact science, as we clearly know.
Right.
But I just feel if they commit the ball to him 15 to 20 times, which is the optimal number, I feel. Last week it was 7, and he still rattled off 24 yards, and his longest run was 12. So He was not doing much. I feel tonight's going to be different. I feel that this, although BC or Montreal has been saying, "Oh, their defense is great," they've never played against a starting quarterback. Now, say what you want about Tre Ford. That doesn't, but this O-line is the best O-line that they've faced this year. So I expect to get a heavy dose of Justin Rankin. That is the play. Over 75 rushing yards. Look at this boost. This was boosted to plus 210. So over 75 rushing yards, plus 210. Head over to playalberta.ca. Click on the EST specials.
So that's I do the odds. It's 3.1 to 1.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Click on EST specials. You'll see that there's a ton of different specials in there. I know Dusty's play of the day, Cody Fajardo, 1+ touchdown. So, I mean, you get down, you take a pass.
I bet on that one.
I like that play.
Quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
Didn't he get both their touchdowns last week?
Yeah. You get a pass interference in the end zone.
Fajardo's sneaking it in.
Fajardo's getting that touchdown. That's a really good play. You can get on board with me, Justin Rankin, 75+. Or you can check out Jay and Matt's big play of the game.
Oh, is that up already?
It
is.
Yeah,
look at that one.
It's Elks plus 7.5. Elks defense 1 or more turnovers. Now that can be a turnover on downs too, which they did twice last week. Justin Rankin 50+ rushing yards and Tre Ford 225 passing and rushing yards. That's boosted to 450. I am also on that. So head over to playalberta.ca, click on EST specials, and don't forget, always use your game sense.
Okay, that's a good one. And we'll talk more about the Elks home opener with Jed Roberts and a little more later on in the show as they play the Alouettes at 7 o'clock. I'll ask you this right now, though, as part of buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Buying or selling the trend towards having a quarterback sneak specialist in the Canadian Football League? Or should the starter just be able to do it all?
Yes. Keep the starter in. I hate it. You have somebody that's been sitting on the bench. Let's say it's a 7-8 play drive.
Right.
That quarterback's been sitting on the bench watching for even longer. And then you expect them to go in and take a snap cleanly.
Right.
I mean, you see it a lot. That's the only time you see botched snaps is when the backup comes in for short yardage. That's it. Why not keep it in? And the risk of say Tre Ford getting hurt is quite small. He's behind behemoths.
That's the thing. I've watched football a lot. I don't know if I can remember a rash of quarterback injuries on a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, there's not.
Now, who was it? Prukop? We had him a couple times, right?
Yeah, he liked to take it around the edge. And
so
the
maybe if you have a guy that's quick enough where it's like, well, he's going to sneak it through.
That's a risk.
You don't like that either.
That's where you get your head taken off.
All right.
That's where you get injured. But there is the reward of breaking a big play.
Right.
Just take the ball, get behind David Beard's big ol' ass, and move the ball 1 yard. That's all you need to do.
Anyway, the Fajardo touchdown one is a good one.
I just assume he has a big ol' ass because he's a big dude.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, so just to get to a couple more comments Connor McDavid made today, he was asked by Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic. By the way, did you see the Jim Matheson tweet, the typo? It was just, I'm not, because I make mistakes all the time. Nugent-Bowman played with a broken hand in the Stanley Cup final instead of Nugent-Hopkins.
Oh, that's an easy. That's
an easy.
Daniel Nugent-Bowman covers the team.
But Nugent-Bowman asked McDavid, okay, so what are the most important things you consider, or you're going to consider to stay an Oiler?
Winning would be at the top of the list, and then winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem. I again, it's only been a couple of days. I'm sure we'll get into it over the course of the next couple of weeks. But again, I'm not in a rush to make any decision, so I don't think that there needs to be any timeline. I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, there's no. I'm just not in a rush that way.
So. Okay, so kind of
saying
somewhat repetitive, but he was saying, hey, like winning. There's a chance here to win. One more. He was asked flat out, what's your message to Oilers fans?
My message to the fans would be to keep being patient and keep believing, because they've been through a lot, obviously, as you said, just like our team has. The emotional highs, the lows. I look at what these playoff runs do to my family. It's hard on them. It's hard on the fans. It's hard on everybody. But ultimately, when that day comes, it'll all be worth it. These moments are tough now, and it's tough to look to that. But when that moment comes, it'll be, it'll be worth the wait for sure.
I like how he acknowledged that his family's probably going nuts during the games, like many of you are on your couches or in your pubs or whatever, or at the rink. I know that it's hard to tell a sports fan to be patient, but again, you got to remember he's the one actually living it and trying to doing it. It's different for the people in the actual circumstance, in the competition, but like he's not happy. He hasn't spent the last couple of days being happy. Was it what did Trev say on the Nielsen show this morning? He was sad. Now he's angry. I'm sure Connor's going through a whole bunch of different emotions as well. But he knows what it's like to play here. He knows all Oilers fans want to win the Stanley Cup very, very badly. But I would think the people who want to win it the most are the people on the team that can go out there and do something about it.
Can you play the first clip or that clip from the start just quickly?
The message to the fans?
No, the one prior.
This core has been together for a long time.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Most important things about staying.
Winning would be at the top of the list.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all you cared about
That's
from
all
today.
I cared about.
Yeah.
winning is going to be at the top of the list. Well, they've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. I know they have not won the Stanley Cup. Right. I understand that. Where else are you going to go that you're going to have an opportunity with the same core?
Right.
And we all know there's going to be changes, there's going to be tweaks, there's going to be additions, subtractions, but the core is what's getting you there continually and what will continue to getting there. So if Connor McDavid's number one goal is to win a championship, there's no better place to go or be than in Edmonton. Fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, of course there are other good teams in the league.
Yeah.
But how much player movement is there with the top guys? They usually stay, and they usually stay for a long time.
I guess the only thing you could say is, well, he could go to Florida.
Could go to Florida, and
well,
then
I got
who knows?
for
But
you.
yeah, exactly.
That's just not in the cards, literally.
All right, so keep sending us your thoughts on what Connor McDavid said today. 780-218-9999. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That's tomorrow from 4 to 10 p.m. If you're watching us on YouTube, take a second and give us a like. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. We're almost at 100. Pretty good for the first hour. We'd love to get to 200. We certainly want to get to 155.
At least for the athlete of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's a big day.
Don't pleasure delay. Go in there and click.
It's a big day, Reid.
Share the link. There's a button right on there that says share. Easily to text or email the link to other people in your lives and say, oh, yeah, you guys got to check out this show. We got you covered on all the Oilers stuff today. We got all the lead into the Elks home opener. We got our athlete of the week. And we have probably many, many tangents to go on in the next couple of hours as well.
And you live in a city where you don't have to go without a professional sport team playing once again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's no downtime.
That's a good point.
This is the time.
We had one day off between well, the Elks actually already started.
Yeah, they started. Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic. Give a thumbs up for that.
Oh, look, that dog has a puffy tail. Here's the coop.
The Lock Shop.
Let's just for a moment envision the scenario where he's like, you know what, after next year, I think I'm going to go elsewhere. Does anyone think that he's going to be going to the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, and I'm not accusing him of being a ring chaser or anything. I mean, I think he'll try to go to a good team that he feels like he has a chance to win. But I would go so far as to say the last place in the world that he'd want to go is in Toronto.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Oilers captain Connor McDavid spoke this morning saying that he's in no rush to get a deal done in Edmonton just yet, while mentioning that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has was suffering from a broken hand throughout the final. In the CFL, the Elks and Alouettes kick off for the Elks home opener. Mattawanek, Jay Milne tee up the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show starting at 6 right here on EST. And in BC, Nathan Rourke of the Lions is questionable for Saturday's game against the Bombers after missing practice 2 days in a row due to an oblique injury. Game 6 of the NBA Finals goes OKC looking to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy on the road in Indiana. With tip-off at 6:30, and the Stingers are in action in Calgary to face the Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams. Action starts at 7:30. And moments ago, the Jays lost 9-5 to the Diamondbacks. Toronto opens up a 3-game series with the White Sox tomorrow, while from Edmonton, the Riverhawks and Bells go at it just after 7. Edmonton winning 6-4 yesterday. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. 5 minutes after 4. So, Larry O'Brien was an American politician and commissioner of the NBA from 1975 to 1984. The Larry O'Brien Trophy is what the NBA champion gets. I always think it just sounds like Larry O'Brien. I know he was like a consequential person, commissioner of the league. I feel as if you went up to a non-sports fan and you said, hey, tonight the Stanley Cup is going to be awarded, I would think a non-sports fan might think, oh, that sounds like a championship trophy, you know, the Stanley Cup. I think if you went up to somebody and said, tonight the Larry O'Brien Trophy is going to be awarded, they would say, is that for Accountant of the Year?
True.
No? Too soon?
It's funny.
I'm just saying Larry O'Brien sounds like litigator of the year. Like what would it be? Like real estate attorney of the year.
Larry O'Brien.
So okay, we want your text messages 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Or in the nasty chat on YouTube.
CPA of the year.
What? Who is awarded the Larry O'Brien Trophy? Wrong answers only.
Yeah.
Who is awarded
like
the
this.
Larry O'Brien Trophy? Wrong answers only. Okay?
I like it.
I don't know. Just saying. Oh, where are we going here? We got our athlete of the week coming up about 5:20. Jed Roberts in a little over half an hour. Few members of the Edmonton Oilers made some comments today in the Hall of Fame room. This is part of the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. Okay. Draisaitl first, probably?
Sure.
Now, obviously, I cut clips. The raw video is all on the Oilers YouTube page and all that stuff, but we try to narrow it down here so you don't have to listen to absolutely everything. Draisaitl was asked some questions about how did the series go? Why is Florida so good? I even said to Jay, I said, Jay, do we need these clips? No. Well, I mean, it's a redo of the postgame, basically. We know why Florida was good. Here's Draisaitl on a potential for his teammate and friend Connor McDavid. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Coop.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really talked to Connor about it yet. There comes a time where we talk about it, but there's nothing that I can tell you right now that you want to hear or you need to hear. You know, that's his situation, and he will do what's best for him and his family. And I mean, do I want him here forever? Yes, of course. I think everybody does. So yeah, there's not much I can give you there.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Jay. I wonder, and I was talking with this with Gager. I don't know if they explicitly talk about it. Like, it's the way I said to Gager. I don't know if it's like, okay, we're on the road, like in Utah. Like, no one knows we're Oilers. Come to my room at 10. Okay, Leon, you going to sign long term? Yeah. Okay, I will too. I don't know if it's like that. I mean, they're adults. Yes, they're friends. I'm sure they probably have hypothetical discussions about it. But I don't know if they would sit there. Well, I'm pretty sure I know. I don't think that Leon would say, okay, if I sign for this much, you should try to sign for this much.
No.
I mean, I think it's more
I
complex than that.
I don't think the money's talked about, but tell me you at least think that they've talked about it. I would think 100%.
I think they've talked about it, but I guess what I'm saying is,
term aside,
I don't think they talk about it in the way that we think they would talk about it. I think they talk about it from other angles, or there are other things that might be important to them or that would factor into them, as opposed to just like, we like playing hockey together, dude.
No, but it would be something as simple as Leon, hey, I'm in. Are you? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to make this happen. Okay. Then that's the last of it.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean that.
Or maybe just like, hey, buddy, hope you get locked up. Like, I don't know if it's much beyond that.
Let's not forget one major thing. Major. Connor's going to make a lot of money.
Yes.
When you start out playing professional sports, you want to win, especially in let's say in hockey. You want to win the Stanley Cup and you want to become rich. Well, he has a chance to do both of those here in Edmonton.
Yes.
So I would absolutely, and I thought this when Leon Draisaitl signed. Oh, that's a good thing for
Connor
McDavid.
It is, yes.
Right?
But I don't know if Connor's mind was made up then. I'm sure it was just in his mind. Okay, Leon's here. That's cool. There's a check mark.
It certainly doesn't hurt the case for re-signing Connor McDavid.
Yeah. I guess I'm just saying is, we can't really know what they talk about, or how. I guess what I'm saying is we can't know how they talk about it.
Of course.
Okay, I'll give you, this might be a stupid example, but as you and I have gotten to know each other, and I've shared more and more about my career path, like there are times you've said to me, oh, I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought that you would have been thinking that in that situation. Or like I ask you, like furniture questions. Like what was your experience? So that's all I'm saying is, you don't know what it's like to do that job until you're doing that job. So the things that they might think about or talk about as important could maybe be things that we don't even imagine.
That's true.
That's kind of what I'm getting
at. But I would have a hard time believing that it's not assumed or at least acknowledged or even talked about between those two. Are we in this for the long haul? Yes. Good. That's the last you would, like, that's how long that conversation would take.
Yeah.
Between those two.
Right. Because I think there's certain things that would be just understood.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. The conversation, if we challenged 100 people to write what conversations between Leon and Connor sounded like, and then we heard an actual conversation, we'd probably all be wrong.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not like Connor McDavid can go anywhere else and get more money than he's going to be offered in Edmonton. The only thing he can do for Edmonton is take a hometown discount.
Right.
But that's not on him. He can not make any more money than what the Edmonton Oilers will probably have to offer him.
Yeah.
He can't make that anywhere else.
I just think today, as McDavid said, and as I've sort of been alluding to, at this moment, it's probably more a priority for Oilers fans than it is for McDavid. Because I believe in the back of his mind, or somewhere in his mind, he knows it's going to get done. But right now, his responsibility is to his teammates, to ending the season. I mean, I imagine tonight or tomorrow night, there's probably going to be a function. I would guess. I don't have any knowledge, but there's usually a final blowout for players, right? Last time we're together as a team. Unless they did something last night, but I don't know. They didn't look like they did walking in today. So then he can focus on it when he can actually sit down and focus on it. And I do think, Jay, there would be a major period of decompression after the season. Like, think about it logically. Why put yourself through the stress of the postseason, the agony of losing the Stanley Cup final, and then wake up yesterday morning and say, okay, got to do the contract right now. Like, I think that's why he's saying there's no rush.
And there isn't.
And I don't even suggest, I don't even think he's saying it's not a priority. I think he's just saying it can be a priority later in the summer. Like, I saw somebody in the Nasty Chat a while ago said, well, you know, if it's training camp and there's not a contract, I get it. It'll be a story, but there probably will be by training camp.
Yeah. I could see this going very similarly to how the Leon Draisaitl contract went.
Yeah.
With the re-signing just before camp.
And plus, he's going to respect the process for what's going on within the franchise. Now, I know the Oilers don't have a lot of draft picks, but they're still going to go to the draft. Maybe they'll make trades at the draft. So that's their priority right now. Then it's free agency to try to add players to the roster to help Leon and Connor.
True.
Okay. So
that's a great point.
So then it's July, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're still human beings who have other things going on.
It's their off season.
Right.
Bugger off. You don't want to talk about anything hockey related for at least a month. Isn't Draisaitl getting married this summer?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Right? So there's
I'm sure
that.
Connor will be there. Two-putt, I think it's Two-Putt Shaker, says two things. Nothing is guaranteed. He certainly could be offered $16 million plus per season elsewhere. Someone will pay that. In fact, multiple teams will do that. Well, yes, but they couldn't do it until next summer. Right? Like, I don't know if this is what Two Putts is saying, but let's remember, he is not a free agent. He can sign an extension with the Oilers as of July 1st. They're the only team that can talk to him for a year. Right? So this is not free agency. So nobody should be worried about him leaving this summer. I just want to stress that because we've gotten a couple of those questions, right? Scott Thompson says, do they have a year-end pizza party, bouncy house too? Wow, just like us. I think that is what the Oilers will do.
That'd be one heck of a bouncy
McDavid's yard's
castle.
going to have a big bouncy castle in the front yard.
With escargot. And what's that stuff? The fish eggs? Caviar.
Caviar, yes.
Have you ever had caviar?
I think so, yeah.
Did you eat it off your...
No. I can't remember how we... Maybe I have. I've had escargot.
Aren't you supposed to put it in...
Maybe I haven't had caviar. Well, you put it in bread, don't you?
Isn't escargot like... Is that snail? Right?
Escargot is snail.
Is
yeah.
that like you can get
and
that
you
at
usually
the
just
keg.
put it in butter and bread.
Isn't that what comes at the keg?
Yes.
In that fancy little dish?
Yes.
The escargot dish? That's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's good. You're mostly tasting the bread.
Caviar.
And
Isn't that like sturgeon eggs?
It looks like tadpole
But the fish eggs.
Yeah.
I've never had it. I have no desire to have it. Maybe that's naive of me. Maybe we should get the cheapest caviar we can get. Do you think
Hey, Sydney? Yeah, don't bother bringing the caviar. Sorry, Dave. Just had to make a call there. Have to make a call there. All right, keep giving us the thumbs up if you're taking us in on YouTube. We're past 100. We want to soar towards 130 for a word of the day, 155 for a double word of the day. So don't delay. Get in there and click right away. We do have a limerick coming in. Emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Bronco Nick writing this. CFL football is back at Commonwealth. Tre Ford will be out there showing his stealth. Let's make bets to beat the Alouettes and get the win for our mental health.
Oh, wow.
It would be a boost to our mental well-being if the Elks won a home game.
Who was that from?
That was from Bronco Nick. Bronco Nick, yeah, he's a pretty good limerick writer. You can send those in. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We are in the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. All right, you're going to hear from Trent Frederic, Evan Bouchard, Corey Perry. Jed Roberts is going to check in about 20 minutes as well. Our athlete of the week is 1 hour from now. We're having a fun show leading you into our Green and Gold kickoff show at 6. Here comes Zachary Kubish.
Oilers had their exit meetings with Connor McDavid saying that he's in no rush to get a deal done in Edmonton just yet, while adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was battling a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup final. Seeing in Edmonton, the Elks have their home opener against the Alouettes. Matt Iwanek, Jay Milne preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show, which starts at 6 right here on EST. And for the Lions, Nathan Rourke missed practice 2 days in a row and is officially questionable for the game on Saturday against Winnipeg. Meanwhile, the Thunder can win the NBA championship with a win on the road in Game 6 tonight against the Pacers. Tip-off for that one is at 6:30. While from Calgary, the Stingers challenge the 7-2 Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams with action starting at 7:30. Earlier, Toronto lost 9-5 to Arizona to end their series. Jays play the White Sox tomorrow, and 3 games are live right now, including the Guardians down 2-1 against the Giants in the bottom of the 8th. Back in E-Town, the Riverhawks and Bells have their series closer. Hawks winning 6-4 yesterday. First pitch is scheduled just after 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. We have a brief break before the show rolls on. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Lou Gazdig with us. Where do you come out on a guy like Frederic getting an 8-year type of deal?
The more I think about it, I love this deal just because I love the player. Here's a guy who can play depth minutes for you, hit and fight and chip in offensively. It's a long contract. Most importantly, he wants to be an Oiler till his mid-30s or basically whenever it takes him till the end of his career. I love that stuff.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Classic track. Is this North Shore?
Yeah.
Jason Milne on the lead vocals. Going back to 2002. What'd you say that song was called?
I think it's called Sweetie Pie.
You're not totally sure?
Nah. Maybe it's Beautiful Goodbye.
Probably.
I think it's Beautiful Goodbye, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. You were in a band.
First line is wisdom creeps in as sand pours through the hourglass.
Oh, my goodness. That is deep. Wow.
Deep.
I feel like I need a nap now. I feel like I got to rest my weary head. That's profound. More Oilers clips coming up here in a second. You can text 780-218-9999 River Creek Resort and Casino inbox. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Keep giving us a thumbs up there if you're on. Well, give us a thumbs up if you have it. Encourage other people to do as well. We've kind of hit a lull again. But you got something funny coming in? What happened?
Well, So the real Slim Davy says the Larry O'Brien is awarded to the top homeowners association president in the province.
So we wanted who wins the Larry O'Brien trophy. Wrong answers only. It's the NBA trophy.
Top monthly urinal cake distributor just received the coveted Larry O'Brien trophy.
That's a good one.
Champion Dungeon Master of the Year. The Larry O'Brien trophy.
Champion Dungeon Master of the Year. Wow.
And this comes in from an angry fella.
Uh-oh.
Haas says the click, click, click remix is garbage. Edmonton sucks.
That's great.
Sorry. I hope you're
Isn't Haas a regular?
Yeah. Maybe he's just having a bad
fooling
day.
around. I think he's fooling around with us a little bit. Because we had that very intelligent Panthers fan yesterday telling us that EST stood for Edmonton Sucks Talk. And we were like, okay, dude.
Good one.
Welcome to the jungle.
We were talking about escargot and snails and Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont. He's still out there. He said, why did the snail paint an S on its shell?
Why did the snail paint an S on its shell? I don't know, Jay. Tell me why.
So people would say, look at that escargot.
Oh, my goodness. We need a sound effect for that. Do we still have my dun-da-da-da?
Yeah. Hang on.
Do you still have that?
Hang on. Let me get the joke ready again.
Okay, we've got to do it again. Hey,
Coob,
everybody. Forget the last 20 seconds. Woo.
Coob, do you have the... Okay. Reid, why did the snail paint an S on its shell?
I don't know, Jay. Tell me, why did the snail paint an S on its shell?
So people would say, look at that escargot. It's so much better.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're certainly having fun. Oh, that's awesome. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you have a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your house, phone, tablet, or computer, whatever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $150 casino bonus. A $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $20 with the promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. So Jay's play of the day is on, what is it, ranking 75 or more rushing yards?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just talk about this quickly.
Plus 210.
Because I feel like I hurt your feelings a little bit. Because you told me that. What was my reaction? I was like, okay. So like that.
No, you said, no, that you said, well, that's not going to happen.
Oh, is that what?
And then I told you to go somewhere.
Yes. Okay, here's what I will say to that. Even if the Elks have a good game rushing the ball, will not the yardage be split amongst Rankin, Leak, and Ford?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe Rankin and Ford. Leak. Hey, Reid, I hope that Leak has 50 yards as well. I'm just saying, with these running backs, they should be able to put up well over 100 yards per game in rushing. With the running backs. Tre Ford's going to Tre Ford. That's just inevitable. But if they commit to Justin Rankin, and here's the thing I will add to that, Reid. Early and often. I don't know if you guys heard me banging my fist against the table. Early and often.
But here's the problem.
Okay.
So it's 1st and 10. You hand the ball to Justin Rankin. He's stuffed. It's 2nd and 8. What are you going to do?
Hand it off again.
You'd hand it off on 2nd and long.
Yes.
Just keep going with it.
Well, here's the thing is you got to find a crease. That's the 2nd and long, it's got to work, Reid. You're right.
Right.
I just think that I have a lot of more faith in this rebuilt offensive line than what showed last week in BC.
Okay.
And I will add this. Call it persnickety, call it whatever you want. Sean Oakman starts on the D line for the Montreal Alouettes.
Big man.
Massive human. I was not impressed with him last year in Edmonton.
No.
He didn't do anything.
Well, isn't he 6'9"?
Yeah, and he talked like this.
Does he?
Seriously.
Okay. He's possessed. He's possessed, everybody.
I heard him yelling at
I am the Oak Man.
And I thought it was somebody on like a loudspeaker using a voice effect. It was not.
That's awesome. I think this is going to be a tough game for the Elks, but like I always say, it starts 0-0. Strange things can happen, and the Elks have been doing the work. And Montreal's not going to go 18-0. Unlikely. So maybe there's a window there. Let's get to a few more clips from your Edmonton Oilers today. Evan Bouchard did not say much. He was asked about getting a new contract this summer.
Yeah, we kind of tried to not talk about it too much. Come playoff time, focus on hockey. I love being here. Want to be here, and we'll see where talks go in next few days when I get home.
Okay.
I mean, we got to play it. We got to tell you what the player said.
Yep,
that's what he said.
Well, and see, much like the Carter Verhaeghe staying on the ice late at the practice, or what was perceived to be late, which actually wasn't late. Much ado about nothing. I mean, none of these players are going to say anything about their upcoming contract negotiations now, certainly. They want to hit the beach, bro.
Well, and as we will say, contracts aren't getting negotiated during the Stanley Cup final, unless you're Trent Frederic, because apparently that was going on during the Stanley Cup final. He didn't give a clip about a new deal. He just said, that we're my agent and the Oilers are talking. But a couple key things I think to discuss with Trent Frederic. What position are you going to be? Are you going to be left wing? You're going to be, going to be a winger? You're going to be a center? How do you see yourself in the NHL moving forward?
I've never really been slotted anywhere. I feel like I've played all over the lineup. Mostly bottom six in my career in Boston, and I would love to get opportunities and stuff like that, but you got to earn it. And I think one of the things that I think can make me a value is I can play left, center, and right. I would love to play more center. It's tough sometimes just to hop into a new team, and guys have taken thousands of faceoffs throughout the year, and you've only taken a couple. That can make it pretty difficult. But I would love to play. I don't know, center, or right, or left. I mean, it's hard to say, but I would love to another chance to play center, in the NHL is full time.
What is it about center that intrigues you? Because I understand you played a lot more on the wing, right?
I play mostly on the wing in my career. The last two playoffs I played center, but played wing throughout the whole regular season. It's the position I played my whole life. You're pretty involved. You can get your skating more in the D zone. You have that more of the defensive responsibilities, and I don't know. I think it's more the flow of the game and be able to move around the ice.
All right, here's what I'm going to say to everybody. I'm not going to debate or spend too much time talking about an 8-year contract, because I think everybody's reaction is going to be the same. Hernan had a very strong reaction earlier. It's surprising to say the least. Okay. Apparently it's going to happen that way. I would think, Jay, and I'm curious what you think, but I would think if you're actually going to sign Trent Frederic for that long, he damn well better be a center.
He has to be a center and a usable center. Reid, what's Adam Henrique getting paid right now?
What is he at? $3 million, I think.
Let me have a look
to Puckpedia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam Henrique is at $3 million. Victor Arvidsson, $4 million. But I mean, if you're looking at comparables currently right now, it's Adam Henrique as a center on the third line at $3 million. Now he's only got 1 year left on that deal.
Right.
So, I mean, it's certainly looking through rose-colored glasses for me to say, what if this pans out? I mean, everybody's looking at this saying, oh, it's bound to fail. It's bound to fail. What if this is looked back on in 4 years and it's looked like you say, holy smokes, the Oilers locked up Trent Frederic for 8 years at $4 million or whatever, 3.75. There is the possibility of that. At least give me that, Reid.
I think in 4 years, yes. I'm just, because he's going to be 35, which I know is not ancient, but if he's going to play rugged, tough minutes, then I don't know how. And I don't always agree with the argument, well, sign him to a long-term deal and deal with the last couple years when you get there. I think that applies to star players. Okay? Like, I don't know. Okay, let's use McDavid as an example. So let's say he signs an extension with the Oilers this summer, which I think he will. So he's an Oiler for 9 more years. So that takes him to the age of 37 or 38 or whatever it's going to be in 9 years. Okay. And he's still top 5 in scoring and a Hart Trophy candidate. And he's like, you know what? I want 8 more. And you're thinking, oh man, he's still doing it at 38. Maybe he can still do it at 40 and 42. Is he going to do it at 40 or 45? But in that case, you do it because he's still a Hart Trophy candidate. I don't like. I would think by the time Trent Frederic is 31 or 32, hopefully you've cultivated another 3rd or 4th line center from somewhere. That's how I look at that. I get it. He might be very good. I mean, he did have a 17 and an 18 goal year in Boston. He has shown he can play rugged. He has shown he'll fight. He'll stand up for his teammates. And he was playing with an injured ankle. He wouldn't comment much on that today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to like put a percentage on something, but I don't know. They did a really good job to the medical staff to get me to feel the best I could, and as I kept playing, it got better and better. All
right. So I think he, and little things I've heard, is that he might have been quite limited in the postseason. So I'm going to assume that there's a better Trent Frederic than what we saw in the playoffs.
You have to know there is if you're Stan Bowman making that deal.
Well, yeah, you'd certainly hope so.
But I don't know how you could know that. Right?
Well, guys usually do recover.
And Reid, I know you said you don't want to talk about it because it's kind of a foregone conclusion or what have you, but isn't it supposed to be when a player gets longer term, they're guaranteed longer term? Now, we don't know the exact parameters.
Yeah, this still has not been announced, to be fair.
But isn't it then comes with a lower value?
Right, because they're getting that guaranteed money, right, for a long time. I don't know. I hope he plays well. And I know there was a lot of concern when the trade was made and then into the playoffs. Well, what if we get Frederic and he leaves? Okay, that's not happening. So he's not leaving. But now it's being criticized because his contract might be too long. But I guess, Jay, I'll give you that. If he turns out to be a really good player for 5, 6, 7 years, then that's going to be a hell of a trade and a hell of a I just think that is a long time for a depth player to be signed. A long time. Like, you're basically saying, we want you on the team as long as we want Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Wow, Trent Frederic, that's pretty cool for you.
For somebody that has really not proven anything here in Edmonton.
Right. And he might.
I can understand why Hernan's ticked off. I can understand why fans are ticked off.
Yes.
But I just cannot see a transaction like this happening out of incompetence from management. I just don't think they have that ability or capability.
Well, maybe maybe there's intel that he was going to get that 7 years. Somebody, if he hit the open market, maybe. I don't know, but I still think it's a long time. Anyway, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort Casino inbox. That is how you text us. River Cree Resort Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Jed Roberts to talk some Oilers and Elks when we get back.
Connor McDavid and company spoke during the Oilers exit meetings today. McDavid saying he's in no rush to re-sign with the Oilers just yet, adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was fighting through a broken hand during the Stanley Cup final. From Commonwealth, the Elks go head-to-head against the Alouettes for their home opener. Tune into the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Matt Iwanek, Jay Milne, tee up the action. Coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. And on the road, the Thunder and Pacers clash in Game 6, OKC with its first chance to win the NBA championship. Game starts at 6:30. For the Stingers, they take on the Surge in Calgary. Tip-off at 7:30 EST, carrying the action on all of our audio streams. And MLB action saw Toronto losing 9-5 to Arizona with 2 games live right now It's Pirates up 3-0 on the Tigers in the second. Cards leading the White Sox 4-1 in the fourth. And the Jays do play Chicago tomorrow. Meanwhile, Edmonton hosts Bellingham Riverhawks, picking up a 6-4 win last night. Their series closer starts just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Double E alum Jed Roberts checks in on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Can the Oilers get back to the Cup final next year? Like, it looks pretty good right now.
It's funny because it's like, I think we've all talked about how I think the West has been the better conference over the past couple years. There's good teams over there in the East, but looking at the playoff bracket this year, I was going, okay, whoever wins between Tampa and Florida is going to the Cup final. And I didn't think there was any way around it. Yeah. Like, kind of what I thought. And that's what a lot of people were saying. I'm not kind of think I'm some genius for saying that.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Here we go. Football is back at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth. Cheer on your green and gold as we kick off the excitement with the ultimate celebration of the game we love. Thursday, June 19th, Edmonton versus Montreal. A huge home opener with the Super Dogs halftime show. Plus the debut of our new in-house band, brand new food items, and to celebrate every double E touchdown, the return of an old favorite. Get your home opener tickets now at GoElks.com. Game day sponsored by Edmonton International Airport. Go Elks!
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Just like the boys of summer keep their gear in top shape, you can keep your stuff safe with Sentinel Storage.
Hit a home run with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must, you must, you must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
What, Jay? I'm just going through my soundboard.
The Larry O'Brien Trophy goes to the doctor that completes the most vasectomies each year.
Who said that one in?
The Buff Puffin.
Wow, that is so. If you're just joining us, first of all, 2 things. We had an off-topic topic for William Huff. Which cover song, which song that's been covered is the covers better than the original? I said Hurt by Johnny Cash, a lot of Whiskey in the Jar by Metallica, Turn the Page by Metallica, a lot of those. Yeah. And then as the show went on, so the Larry Bryan Trophy tonight can be claimed by Oxa, right?
Yes.
Against Ind.
I believe it's Oaks.
Sorry. So I said Larry O'Brien. I realized he was an influential figure for former commissioner. Did I say influential finger?
Look at my finger. Look. Okay, guys, look. There's 10 of us and only 1 of him. Well, okay, 8 of us. You 2 guys are still important.
So I said, Larry O'Brien, but if you told someone that didn't know sports that the Larry O'Brien Trophy was going to be handed out tonight, somebody might think it was somebody else. So we said wrong answers only. What is the Larry O'Brien Trophy awarded for? So somebody said it's the what was it?
Larry O'Brien Trophy goes to the doctor that completes the most vasectomies each year.
That's very good.
Bronx the Boilermaker says Frederic has fought Wilson. That's a guy you want. No fear. Grumpy Cat. I'm not as concerned about the term of a Frederic deal, but what is the trade protection will be the make or break for me.
Oh, I have no idea.
Nobody knows. And Abutski has sent in a limerick. For the Elks home opener.
Classic.
We must get to it. The Elks home openers tonight. Time to sing. Fight, fight, fight. Eat a few glizzies, you Larrys and Lizzies.
What?
Even if your jersey's too tight.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. That's clever, actually.
Very good.
That's some good imagery. Give us a thumbs up. Click that like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you have not clicked already, we know that some of you haven't, based on the numbers I'm seeing. And I'm concerned here, Jay. I'm wondering if the thumb thing is just something we need to retire.
Well,
I think we're more passionate about it than a lot of other people.
That's fine.
Maybe we need some other, or maybe we just stop doing words of the day.
Yeah, well.
Maybe that's it.
All good things must come to an end. I just didn't think it would be this soon.
Didn't think it would be this way. But give us a thumbs up if you haven't already and you're watching on YouTube. Do we have Jed? We're working on Jed?
He said he was connecting.
Oh, he's doing it right now. Okay, so we'll get him right away. Yeah. Perfect. Let's get to a couple other clips then, since I had them ready to go. Corey Perry. I mean, I would use the word excellent to describe his play. Had this to say about his future.
I just want to win. And I think if, knowing me, that's been my motto the whole time is I want to win. And, hopefully it's here and hopefully we can figure something out and get something done. That's, because this is a good team and there's, some good things that are ahead.
So what has Perry lost? Five of the last six finals? Is that what we're at for him?
Yeah.
But what did he say? I want to win and hopefully it's here. So I think he would stay for another year. I'd bring him back for another year, quite frankly.
Now, what's that look like for a guy like Corey Perry?
Well, what did he make this year? Just over $1 million?
Yeah.
Probably the same deal.
Yeah, I think if you can get him for the same amount of money.
Right.
I mean, age and whatnot would dictate maybe that's a little lower, but his play this year was simply, I think if you can get him for the same value, you take that because it was a pretty small hit anyhow.
Yeah. I mean, unless he thinks, now I'm a $6 million player again or something. I don't know if he's going to do that. I think for him, he just wants to stay and like you said, his family's here now. His kid's been around the rink quite a bit. So yeah, he's been pretty good. Also, Perry, just with some comments on the season in general.
At the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. That's why we play the game. That's why, you play and you work out in the summer and you do all the things. And, it's unfortunate. It's tough. It never gets easy. I'll say that. But I think there's a lot of good hockey left in that room and a lot of good players in that room that want to win, and it's gonna get there.
Corey Perry was a valuable player for the Edmonton Oilers. 19 goals regular season, 10 in the playoffs. Often, when they went nuclear, he was often the third guy on the line. So maybe that needs to be repaired a little bit, but. And valuable, we all know about, and too bad the Oilers didn't win the Stanley Cup because it would be even more legendary. But the locker rooms, the dressing room speech after the first period of Game 4, down 3-0. Apparently, he said something very effective to get the team going, at least in that game. I think he's an experienced player, a respected player. But when it comes down to it, he's still good on the ice. He's not just like, he's good in the locker room, so we just got to play him still 5 minutes, even though he's terrible. He's a good player. There were a lot of nights, and maybe even the playoffs, especially with Hyman out, he was the Oilers' third best bet to score a goal. Well, I guess if you go by the stats, second, because he outscored McDavid in terms of goals. If you can bring it back and it's around $1 million, I think you got to do it. If he's fine playing for that,
you have to.
Yeah,
for that kind of value. Because there's a lot of other teams that would sign him at $1 million as well.
Yeah, but I think he would want to stay here. And again, another kind of what McDavid is saying, like this group, some of the core guys, and in a way, Perry is a core guy. Not in the same way that he grew up with the other guys, but in terms of who shows leadership, who's something that would be
as a veteran presence,
who's someone you might go to or would hope would say something important when needed. I think he fits the bill there. Fair, mostly fair.
Are we of the belief that Evander Kane's not going to be back with the Oilers?
I think he'll be traded.
So he has a 16-team approved trade list,
right?
So I would imagine that's.
I would think he'll be traded. I know there's a lot of no move clause. I think Tom's reported it too, that Arvidsson would waive his no move clause. I don't think Jeff Skinner will be resigned. Where are you with Kapanen and Connor Brown?
Ooh, it all depends on the dollar value.
It'd have to be like around $1 million or a little over.
Connor Brown is going to have to take a significant haircut.
Well, his base contract this year wasn't that much, but he was getting the bonus money from last year.
Yes.
All right, many things to consider. We do have Jed Roberts, Double E alum, a regular contributor here to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Good to have you checking in again, Jed. How's life, my man?
Oh, it's going good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. You're coming through loud and clear. You look great. You look very technologically updated.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I had to get my son to set me up, so it's all smoke and mirrors, my friend.
No, it's good. You're looking good. We want to talk football. Big game tonight. Elks tried to get in the win column, but you were on with us. Well, you were on with us all season and several times throughout the playoffs. I know you wanted the Oilers to win. I know you watched closely. Give us a couple of your takeaways from the Stanley Cup final.
Well, I think Perry Lefko made a really good point about the sports writer for Toronto. He just talked about the template, and the template is Hall of Fame goaltending and relentless forecheck. And if you look at Florida and Tampa, that's been the blueprint. And there's just something about that style of game that the Oilers just can't solve and can't figure out, right? And so I think they've got some hard decisions coming up with respect to who's going to stick around and who's going to be who they're going to bring in. And it's not a slight to lose to a team like Florida. I think history will look back on this Florida team as one of the greatest of all time, and that's saying something considering the fact that we're in a salary cap age and to repeat is next to impossible. So the fact that team took the Oilers, to 7 games last year, and then this year they took them in 6. That's a heck of a football. I've got football on the brain. Heck of an ice hockey team over there. So you can't take anything away from Florida. Florida was just a better team.
Jed Roberts, Double E alum, joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Jed, it's nice to see your beautiful face again. It's been a little while, but we're going to get to see you a lot more here as we're taking on the CFL season. And but I wanted, before we get into the game tonight, I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what's the greatest area of concern for this team heading into the off season?
The Oilers?
The Oilers, sorry.
Well, first of all, you got to get Connor signed. I know he's got a year left, and but you just want to make sure that you've got the linchpins. You've got Dre's already in there, but you've got to get Connor signed. I think that's number one in my mind, anyway. I think there's some other areas they probably need to take a hard look at. I'd heard some rumblings about the goaltending. I'm not really sure. I think that if you went and took a look at the slot shots that the Oilers give up, I think you'd be a pretty telling stat, because I think that no matter who you have in net, as long as the guys are taking shots in the slot there like that, and you're giving up that many, you could be, Sawchuck, and you would still give up, That's going back a little bit, but there are some issues with their structure. I think they were outcoached in this game, in particular, this last game, Game 6. You could really see it on Connor's face after the game when they asked him, what was working and what wasn't working, and he was very blunt in his assessment. He said we just kept trying the same thing and it just wasn't working. So I think they just got to the point where they just ran out of answers, and it's frustrating. Florida's a great team. And I think that people need to give the Oilers a little bit more credit for playing as well as they did,
Obviously, now we'll get into some football talk, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't the way that the W wanted it to go in week 1, but what did you see from that game? And I'll allow you to say, if anything, or me to say, if anything, that would make you think that this team might be able to put it together and get a victory tonight and get this season going off.
I will say right now, if they run the ball, they'll win the game. One of the things about having a running quarterback like Tre is you've got to have the running game going, because if you can't run the ball, then Tre can do whatever he wants, but he's not going to be able to pull it out. And that's one thing that I thought they did really well last year, and especially down the stretch there, the last 9 games. They were running the ball right down people's throats. And for whatever reason, it wasn't really there against BC. I think having Boyko back, hopefully he's healthy. That'll help quite a bit. I know one of the signatures of an Ed Hervey football team is big, mean, strong, nasty O-linemen that come right into your kitchen and take over and reset the menu. You know what I mean? So that really didn't happen in the first game. It was just really bad fast food. So that's number one. Number two, I thought their defense played well considering how long they were on the field. I think that there's some good things there. I think their linebackers are good. I think we've got to figure out kind of what's going on the back end there. I think there's the nucleus, the bones of a good team here. One of the things about being, in a culture where you haven't really won a lot of games, it's the close games tend to get you, and then when you're in a tight one, it's just you don't really know how to act because you've never been there before. And so hopefully, some of the guys that have been there like Beard and Coite and some of those guys can kind of take charge and try to get pull that dressing room toward the positive margin and win some of the close ones. Because you got to win the early games, because too often you see teams coming down the stretch run, if they would have just won the early games, like last year, I think they lost a bunch of close ones and then the season kind of got away from them. So you really got to establish some momentum early. And I think that if they can set the table here by running the ball right off the bat, I think that'll be a positive sign. If not, then it could be a long night.
Part of the reason they didn't score a lot last week was also because the kicker missed 7 points worth of kicks, didn't even get the rouges on the missed field goals. And Blanchard's kicking again today.
Yes.
So here's my question, Jed, because you and I have talked a lot over the years, and it's a competitive business, and you as, if you're on the D line or when you were covering special teams, if you had a game where you missed 2 or 3 tackles, you'd probably be walking off the field, win or lose, thinking, I wonder if I'm in the lineup next week. So what are some of the players, what are the quote unquote regular players thinking that this guy gets to kick again after missing 2 field goals on a convert last game?
I'm actually shocked that he's there. I thought for sure they were going to bring Faithful back or somebody like that. I don't know. But, they're not paying me to make those decisions. So I was like you. I thought that was a bit of a head scratcher that they brought him back in. I think it probably could be a ratio thing, or maybe they see something from him in practice that they didn't see in the game. But that's kind of along the lines of what I was talking about. When you get a young team that hasn't really won that much, when you get a kicker in there that isn't converting, he's only got one job, and that's to kick the ball. And it's through a combined space. And those guys tend to be really, really good at that. And that's all they do in practice. If you ever watch a kicker, they spend the entire time kicking the ball. They don't do anything else. So
drives me nuts.
I know, me too.
Jed, do you think, though, that is maybe a bit of a stamp on this season already from head coach Mark Killam, given his special teams background, that he's willing to say? Because we had a clip of him on the show yesterday. I'll just give you the Cole's notes that Rene Paredes struggled early in his career, and as in Mark's opinion, he feels like he's going to go down as one of the best to ever do it. Do you think this is a bit of a statement from Mark Killam this early in the season?
Yeah, I do. I think that I'll take you back to 1997.
Yes.
Or maybe even back further than that, when a guy by the name of Anthony Calvillo first broke in the league. Nobody thought much of him. He was with the Vegas Posse, and then he had I think they won 3 games that year, or maybe 5, maybe. I don't know, that's being generous. But, he didn't show anything, but somebody saw something in him and stuck with him. And, he went to Hamilton and they kind of spent a few years there kind of being unremarkable, but they kept giving him shots, and then sooner or later he started to hit, and the rest is history. Like, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. So, I mean, I think patience is rewarded if you see something. I don't know what they see. I saw what you saw last week, so obviously they see something from him in practice, or maybe they talk to him. Maybe he's a character guy. I don't know. Like I said, they don't pay me to make those decisions, but I think last year and years past, that would have been the case. They would have, given him an apple and a roadmap and said, see you later. And then they would have brought the next guy in, and they would have had like 5 guys sitting in the dressing room waiting for him to mess up. And it's tough to really excel in a culture like that. But, there's a lot to be said for continuity. So I think this is probably one of those instances.
I know the coach said yesterday he's got a lot of leg talent. And I said to Jay, what the heck does that mean? And Jay's like, well, he's got a strong leg. I was like, doesn't he just have leg strength? Because to me, leg talent is also accuracy. So, But anyway, I guess that's the new term.
Well, that's the old saying, all the tools, but no toolbox, Yeah.
Well, I hope he straightens it out, literally and figuratively, because if he does have a lot of leg talent, that could help for sure. Are you going to the game, doing any alumni stuff, or what's happening tonight?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on going, but then I got roped into going by my boys because, as you know, I coach a couple of football teams, and our football practice was canceled. So I guess I'm taking my kids to the game. So I'll be there.
Well, maybe I'll see you there. You're always a joy to have on the show. Great perspective as always. You're totally plugged in tech-wise. You look better than ever. You sound better than ever. We love you. Enjoy the game tonight.
Bye. Love you guys. See you later.
That is Jed Roberts, double E alum.
Great to see him.
He didn't know what the hell leg talent was either.
Yeah.
You can still hear him. He's still laughing. I don't know if that went on air or not.
I think it did. That's good.
That's good. I was confused by that. He's got a lot of leg talent.
Well, maybe we don't know all the roles he plays on
I'm
the
not
team.
the coach of the team, so what can I tell you? Give us a thumbs up on YouTube if you haven't already. Click that like button.
That is a very special teams coordinator thing to say, though.
That is true.
So you got to give him that.
But that could mean he's a fast runner or he's good at hopping. He's a good hopscotcher. He's got a lot of leg talent. Anyway.
Larry O'Brien is given to the librarian that has collected the most books for rebinding.
Oh, my goodness.
From Bronco Nick.
That's pretty good. And we have a limerick here from VR Montenegro. Off to the Elks home opener down at Commonwealth. Best tailgate in the league, if I do say so myself. Free ride on the train. Hope it doesn't rain. In D&D, would you be halfling, dwarf, or elf? That's funny.
Well done.
That's very good. All right, we're going to do crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. Our first athlete of the week for Pasta Pantry coming up at 5:20. Hopefully a double word of the day. We need 20 more likes on YouTube to get there. We will do a single word of the day. Hopefully it's a double. Here's the 5 o'clock break.
2 guys and a goalie.
There's the diehards, and I classify myself in that kind of column because I'd have friends call me. I'd have my family come, they'd know not to knock on my door because I'd be rattled, and I'd go for walks. I'm not much of a walker. I'd kick rocks on my walks. I'm not even joking. Like, it would seriously
2 guys
bother
and a
me.
goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the Banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Oilers captain Connor McDavid spoke this morning saying he's in no rush to get a deal done in Edmonton just yet, while mentioning that Reid Nugent-Hopkins was suffering from a broken hand throughout the final. In the CFL, the Elks and Alouettes kick off for the Elks' home opener. Matt Owanek, Jay Milne tee up the game during the Green and Gold kickoff show starting at 6 right here on EST. And in BC, Nathan Rourke of the Lions is officially questionable for Saturday's game against the Bombers after missing practice 2 days in a row with an oblique injury. Game 6 of the NBA Finals goes as OKC looks to win the NBA championship on the road in Indiana with tip-off at 6:30. And the Stingers are also in action in Calgary to face the Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams. Action starts at 7:30. Baseball has 3 games, with the Pirates up 4-0 on the Tigers in the third. Earlier it was the Jays losing 9-5 to the D-backs. Toronto plays the White Sox tomorrow. And in Edmonton, the Riverhawks and Bells go at it for their series closer just after 7. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Goob, what is this?
It's called Pickup by Adam McDougall.
I kind of like it, but I kind of don't like it for game day music.
Sounds like this song's got a what was the term? An active leg or a
this song has a leg talent.
Leg talent.
Yes. That's amazing. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. It is 5:06. Yeah, we've had you covered on the Oilers player availabilities today as they wrapped it up at Rogers Place. Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch will speak at 11 a.m. For the game tonight from Josh Clausen at CTV. Cloudy with some sunny breaks. Temperature around 16 or 17 degrees at kickoff. 12 to 13 degrees at 10. Wind northwest 10 to 20. So it'll be a bit of a cool night.
That's football
But he's
weather.
not saying anything about rain.
No, that's football
So,
weather.
you know, if you're smart,
Not too hot, not raining.
Take an extra layer. If you wind up holding your hoodie or jacket, better than freezing and wanting to
So be
leave
it.
earlier. Like I made sure I packed a couple a hoodie and a jacket to take today. This morning was ugly. I understand if football fans woke up this morning and were like, seriously, but it has like we have a limited window. Hopefully, we have better windows.
I think in the new place,
new
the
office.
windows are quite vast. So
yeah, we have blinds pulled down, and it's almost like we're captives.
Maybe we are.
Just give them a crack of light. Just tease them. Anyway, football tonight. Connor McDavid asked earlier today about the most important things to him staying as an Edmonton Oiler.
Winning would be at the top of the list, and then winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem. Yeah, I again, it's only been a couple of days. I'm sure we'll get into it over the course of the next couple of weeks. But again, I'm not in a rush to make any decision, so I don't think that there needs to be any timeline I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, I'm just not in a rush that way. So.
All right. And again, I just want to clarify this, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing this to sound preachy or condescending, but I just want to clarify this because like not everybody's invested in hockey all the time. Not everybody goes on Puckpedia or knows everything about contracts. I still get asked by someone almost daily, is McDavid signing somewhere else this summer? No, he can't. He is the talk about McDavid is a contract extension. His current contract with the Edmonton Oilers goes until the end of next season. So you're allowed to sign your own players to a contract extension in the final year of their deal. So starting July 1st. Okay. So that's what we're talking about with McDavid is a contract extension, not a contract that is going to keep him in Edmonton immediately. He is an Oiler for one more season. Bouchard is a restricted free agent. So he could be offered an offer sheet from other teams that he could take, and then if the Oilers didn't match it, he could go to that team, like a couple players last summer, right? So I just want to clarify that McDavid can't be signed as a free agent this summer under contract. It's an extension. So this is the thing. Draisaitl, the season Draisaitl just played, he was playing under the contract Chiarelli signed him to 8 years ago. The new contract starts for this season. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Not weird, but it's like, oh, we got a new contract. Starts in a year.
Yeah.
He's still anyway. And you can only do that for your own players. You can't go to another player who's going to be a free agent next year and say, okay, finish your year in St. Louis, then come. That's obvious. But just to clarify that. All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That's how you text us. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can also email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can chat with us, more importantly, with each other in the nasty chat on YouTube. If you are in on YouTube, haven't done it already, click that like button. We need basically 20 thumbs in the next 40 minutes to get to a double word of the day. So we really want to do that. Our first ever Athlete of the Week on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne is coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes. That's presented by Pasta Pantry. We're pleased to launch that as well. And right now we're going to go to Crunch the Numbers for Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP. If you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow, visit their website, gallollp.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. All right. I'm just going to go here. This is not pretty. Elks at home. I'm not even going to talk about that big losing streak they had or whatever, because that started in 19. There was no season in 20, right? And then they kept losing for a while. The Elks' home record since the start of the 2021 season, so in the 4-year playoff drought, is 5-29. 5-29 at home. That's depressing to say. I was in the stands for most of those games. So that's 34 games with 5 victories. Okay. I was looking at, and because here's how I kind of, my personal recent remembrance of the Elks' struggles, that they just don't score. I know it hasn't been the only weakness, but they have an offense that is not competent. That's not even average. That's probably not even below average. A lot of these times they'd had an offense that was flat out poor. Certainly the year where McAdoo got fired halfway through the year and they got shut out twice. I mean, that's awful. So at home, in those 34 games, they have scored under 20 points 14 times. I would say in the CFL, if you score under 20 points, you have virtually zero chance of winning. I know sometimes it happens. But if somebody told me, hey, Reid, there's a CFL game tonight, and I already tell you this team's going to score 17 points, I would say they're going to lose. I'd say that every time. Even if they're playing another low-scoring team, I'd say that every time. 17 ain't enough. So under 20, the Elks, 14 of 34. I thought to myself, okay, how many times have they scored 24 or more points? Because to me, that's a pretty positive threshold. If you're getting 24, 27, you should win, or you're putting yourself you're putting yourself in a good position to get to the mid to high 20s. This number was actually higher than I thought. They'd scored 24 or more points 13 times. Now, in that run, they had some 38-31 losses or, losing with 27 points. But there were some times they put some points on the board. But I think I'm directionally correct, as you like to say, with my word of the day, that the team has not been good for 4 years in a row. I think the weakest of the three units, and I know there have been kicking issues and defense and all that stuff, I still think the weakest unit has been the offense.
It's not even close.
So you can't move the ball. You can't protect your defense. You can't put your kicker and punter in a good position to score points or kick for field position. You can't take time off the clock. On and on we go. That's kind of been the pain for me through these Elks struggles, is that they lose and look, for the most part, they don't lose exciting. Now, I know last year they lost, 4 or 5 games on the last play, or 3 in a row on the last play.
Yeah.
And in a couple of those, they actually scored points, like that Ottawa game. They actually scored, right? And then Beattie kicked it out of bounds.
Well, Saskatchewan, the home opener last year.
Oh, right. They were ahead.
They were ahead at half by, I think, 2 scores.
So anyway, that's kind of how I feel. Because remember, like Riley's first year, so 2013, they went 4-14. But they had, they lost 39-37. Like, they were losing by 4 points, 6 points. Not every game. They got blown out sometimes. But you watched a lot of those games and you thought, man, oh man, they're right there. They're not good. They're losing, but they make some plays. They just got to clean up the mistakes and get some more experience. Some of the offenses we've seen in recent years, you haven't left the stadium going, they're 2 plays away. Or that's just that one damn incompletion with 8 minutes left. You've left the stadium going, they could barely cross half. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen with this year's team, but I was discouraged with the offensive performance in game 1. We'll see tonight, but just a little context there.
Yeah. Look, and by the way, it is game number 6,043 of the CFL's existence. Fun fact. Davis Alexander. That's the wild card for me. This is not Nathan Rourke. Davis Alexander, I don't think, is in the same company as Nathan Rourke, who in the second half of the season opener, and most of the first half, I guess you could say, but they didn't get points, Nathan Rourke had his way with this defense. Davis Alexander, through 2 weeks, has thrown for 549 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Edmonton also was outscored 28-7 in the home or the season opener in BC. I think they need to come out, stay in the game early, and then push in the second half. This team, like you said, Reid, they let off the gas last year multiple times in the second half, which ended up costing them.
Yeah.
If they can keep this close, because Montreal's going to put up points. They're a good team. They can establish a run, keep it close in the first half, and then finish the job and finish it with intensity. I think they've got a fair shot to come out of this game with a win. I really do. They're not that far off.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
But I mean, I understand the people that say, look at the last 3 years. Their starts were what? 05, 08, 0-7.
Well, what did we say in the last 4 years? They've won 1 game in June or July. I guess 2021's not fair because they didn't start till August. So the last 3 years in June or July, they have 1 win.
Yep.
That's not good.
That's
not very good at all. That's not right. All right. We need 17 thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Find those clicks. Call a friend. Call your grandma. Call your dog. Get them to give us a paw up in the nasty chat. We'll have a word of the day, maybe 2, and a very special guest next. Our first ever Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Here's the Coop.
The Oilers held their exit meetings this morning. Connor McDavid saying he's in no rush to get a deal done just yet with the Oilers. Adding that, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was battling a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup final. Seeing in Edmonton, the Elks have their home opener against the Alouettes. Matt Awane, Jay Milne preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show, which goes live at 6 right here on EST. And for the Lions, Nathan Rourke missed practice the last two games and is questionable for Saturday's match against Winnipeg due to an oblique injury. Meanwhile, OKC has the chance to claim the NBA championship, up 3-2. Entering Game 6 against Indiana, tip-off at 6:30. And from Calgary, the Stingers challenge the 7-2 Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams. Action starts at 7:30. Elsewhere, and earlier, Toronto lost 9-5 to Arizona to end their series. Jays play the White Sox tomorrow. 4 games live right now. Mets and Braves runless in the first inning. And back in E-Town, the Riverhawks and Bells have their series closer. Hawks winning 6-4 yesterday. First pitch is scheduled for just after 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Our very first rendition of the Athlete of the Week for Past the Pantry comes next. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream. I talked about that last night. I used Corey Perry as an example. That guy at 40 years old, fantastic what he did. But
you made a good point on that last night. I remember that one.
Yeah, and I used him as an example. I said, well, like, he's 40 years old and he's your top line right winger. I know it should be Zach Hyman. That wasn't possible due to the injury, but that is something that will need to be looked at.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. Long live Calgary. July 5th, live in the venue. Horses are fast. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Having a great afternoon. 5:23, Elks play at 7 against Montreal. Our live stream continues at 6 with the Green and Gold kickoff show with my buddy Jason Milne and my colleague Matthew Awanek. They'll be on for the Green and Gold postgame show after the game as well. Very proud to have a new feature, our Athlete of the Week, presented by Pasta Pantry. For over 30 years in Sherwood Park, Pasta Pantry has served hot, delicious comfort food made right in their kitchen. They do it fast so you can slow down. They're a family, and when you come to Pasta Pantry, you're one of us. Go check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal.
Well, this has been a long time coming, hasn't it, Reid? And I'm very excited. The inaugural recipient of the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week is Abby Vu. Abby, how the heck are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? Good.
Now, I understand you're a grade 10 student at Jasper Place High School. So, you're well done school today. You're almost done school for the summer. You got any good summer plans coming up?
I'm not too sure. I got my driver's license this year, so I'm probably going to go drive around maybe.
That's fair. I'm going to give you and the listeners a breakdown as to why you were chosen as the recipient of the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week. As I mentioned, Abby, you're a grade 10 student at Jasper Place High School. She's a wrestler as well as a first-year football player and starting quarterback for the U19 female tackle football team, the West Edmonton Raiders, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody, I want you to listen to this stat line from Abby Vu. In 5 games this year, Abby ran for 1,403 yards and 20 touchdowns. Yes, you heard me correct. That's an average of 280 yards per game and 4 touchdowns. Abby, A, how'd you do that? And B, how long have you been playing football?
So how did I do that? I don't know. Because quarterback, I touch the ball every play. Like, it always goes through me. So, like, I don't know. And a lot of our plays are centered around quarterback rushes because in our league, it's 6-on-6. So there isn't very many options to, like, pass the ball. And so I just ended up running it a bunch.
So you must have some speed. Have you ever clocked yourself? Have you ever timed yourself? And I mean, the 40-yard dash would be, I guess, what football players would run. Have you ever ran a 40-yard dash?
No, I haven't. I keep pondering. I really should, but.
Abby, you were so not only that, but you were named MVP of the Football Alberta Provincial Final, and you led the West Edmonton Raiders to their 2nd straight provincial championship. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You were nominated by your coach, Chris Frisky. That's who nominated for you this for you. By the way, Chris is a Golden Bears football alum.
Oh, sweet.
He actually played at the same time as Elks head coach Mark Killam. Here's what your coach had to say about you, Abby. She is a very deserving, hardworking athlete who leads on and off the field, paving the way for more girls to play the great game of football. What does it mean to hear those words coming from your coach, Chris Frisky?
I mean, it feels fantastic. Like, I know he always talks about his days. And so, like, just hearing that from, like, somebody who, like, is respected for, like, playing football and, like, it just gives me that extra confidence to keep playing.
Abby, what attributes have you been able to take away from the game of football and apply to your day-to-day as a grade 10 student at Jasper Place High School?
I feel like it'd just be like do hard things, like nothing bad can come out of working hard. Like there's always gonna be like something good that will come out of it. Like for football, like if I'm like tired halfway there, like halfway across the field, like come on, you're like already ran 50 yards, why not run 50 more kind of thing. So like if I'm like halfway through a test, why not just finish the test? I don't know.
That's a great attitude. Abby Vu is our Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week. How did you start playing football? What's the story there?
I always liked playing football. Like we'd always play in elementary school. We'd like have footballs, we'd run around. Then we started playing kind of tackle in elementary school. We got banned from that. So then I started playing flag football in grade 6. And I've been playing, and I was on Team Alberta for the past 2 years. And I just made Team Alberta for tackle this year, so I didn't know, everything kind of like meshes together, but this is my first year playing tackle football.
Okay, how do you like playing tackle better than flag? Like, do you like the hitting?
I didn't know, because since I play offense like pretty much the whole time, it's not so much as hitting, it's more being hit.
Right.
It's like, it's fun, it is like. But flag, there's that, like, just, like, the guarantee that I'll be okay at the end of the game. I know, but either way, I don't think I have a preference one over the other.
Okay. Now, so you're playing 6-on-6, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm not sure. I can't remember that other interview we did in November. Is the field a different size than a CFL or NFL field, or is it the same?
It's the same length, but the width is shorter by maybe 4 yards.
Oh, so it's still quite large then. It's not like an 80-yard field or something like that. Okay.
No.
All right. So that's pretty exciting. What do you like most about football? Like, what do you like most about being out there?
I feel like I like the atmosphere, like the people there, like everybody's going to be nice. Like, yes, the girls are going to hit you hard and they're trying not to make you get up. But like after the game, you can talk to any of them and they've been in the same shoes as you. Like when you're struggling, everybody will help pick you up. And it's like everybody's just supporting everybody.
All right. And you're also a wrestler. What style of wrestling do you do?
So I just did high school wrestling. That was this year, so I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, but you like doing that too. Okay. All right. Now, when it comes, so do you watch a lot of NFL or CFL? And if so, do you have a player or team that you admire? Or do you just play?
I just play.
You just play. Do you have a favorite athlete or team in any sport?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you can be your own favorite athlete. You got to be confident, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Abby. Well, we really appreciate you hopping on. Congratulations for kicking off the Athlete of the Week with. Congratulations on everything you've been doing, and we certainly hope to hear from you again. See you down the road. But because this is the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week, you do get a $25 gift certificate to the Pass the Pantry plus the custom Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week hat. How are you going to feel walking around the hallways of Jasper Place, flaunting this Athlete of the Week hat? Are your friends going to be jealous of you? Or are they going to try to take it from you?
We're not actually allowed to wear hats at school.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and truthfully, you could probably just run away from them because by the sounds of it, you're quite fast. So there it is, folks. That is Abby Vu. As mentioned, the inaugural Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week recipient. Congrats, Abby, and I hope to catch up with you again.
Thank you.
Right on. Thanks, Abby. Great stuff. Eye-popping stats.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that is just incredible.
It's unbelievable.
That would be unbelievable. 280 rushing yards per game, average. Playing quarterback for the U19 West Edmonton Raiders. That is tackle football, which she said. So I was going to ask her, too, if she plays defense as well. That's why I asked the hitting question.
Right.
Because I was going to ask hitting or being hit, but she said she basically doesn't play defense.
She's a star quarterback.
So she's just
you got to protect her at all
costs. She's obviously pretty hard to hit.
Yeah.
Given some of her stats. So that's the spirit of what we're doing.
Yep.
Athlete of the Week for Pass the Pantry. How can people make a nomination, Jay?
Yeah. Go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Scroll to the bottom. There's it's a contact us form. Just put Athlete of the Week in the subject and send in your nominee, or just email jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. And Reid, I can tell you through the show today, I've already had 3 more emails sent to me for Athlete of the Week.
That is incredible. That's an honor that people are on board with this and want to feature someone that they know. As we said, it's any age, boy, girl, man, woman, any sport. I mean, I imagine we'll get a lot of the traditional sports because a lot of people play those, but who knows? We may get, who knows? Maybe there's some guy in his mid-20s who plays disc golf.
You never know, Reid.
Trev's going to nominate himself.
Yeah,
just watch.
I would love that.
Hey guys, it's Trev. Or he'll change his voice.
Hey guys, it's Trev.
I mean Dan.
It's Peter. No, that's great. That's fantastic, Abby. Please keep sending those in. Obviously, we doesn't just necessarily mean your nominees.
Do you already have somebody lined up for next week?
Yes.
Oh, we're off and running.
We are off and running.
We got to jump on this one.
I could have it lined up probably till the end of July, Reid.
That many?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And next week, Athlete, should I give it a little teaser?
Is it another football?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
It is, and it's just because it's seasonal. A lot of football seasons just ended. I believe the player that's coming up. Well, I know for a fact that this player is being endlessly pursued around the nation. and in the U.S. For his services on a football team. I can tell you that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's intriguing, Jay.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Do the Elks play again next Thursday?
What is it here?
I think aren't they in Winnipeg?
Yeah, Thursday in Winnipeg.
So we got another football game next Thursday.
But
too.
that game starts at 6:30. So
we're half an hour
we're
shorter
gonna get
that
kicked
day.
out of here right about now.
Well, we'll move things around.
Sure.
All right. Here's what we would ask you to do. If you have not already, click the thumbs up button. Give us a like on YouTube. We're 10 away from double word of the day.
Are we?
We
Wow.
want to get there legitimately. We realize. I hear it. Everybody. Would you say there's a certain amount of fan fatigue with the Oilers playoff run? It was a long time.
100%.
It's a lot of stress. I mean, even McDavid referenced in his one clip, it's been hard on my parents and family to go through all these games. We get it. But we're here all the time. And maybe some people are like, I just can't click the thumb today, Reid. You can. You can push through. You think Cody Fajardo is going to do a quarterback sneak tonight and think, I can't get this last yard? No, he's going to push for that yard. So if you haven't clicked the thumbs up, do it, or share the link to the show with somebody else. Tell people to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow all the shows wherever you get your podcasts. Nielsen Show, Reid Wilkins Show, EST Afternoons with Gager and Salas, etc., etc. Help build EST. We're still building. We've come a long way, but we ain't stopping. Heck, we're moving to a bigger office in a month and a half.
It's exciting.
Expansion.
Vaughn in the River Cree Resort and Casino.
We're going to have a team in Arizona soon. That's so stupid. We're going to have AST, Arizona Sports Talk. But on that, they'll just talk hockey on that station.
Yeah, right. That might be Arizona Sucks Talk, though.
Yeah, it might be.
Vaughn on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Way to go, fellas. What a great idea that is. Nice work. And that's obviously talking about Abby Vu, the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? Have you ever eaten at Pasta Pantry? And I know that's a little bit out of your neck of the woods.
I don't think recently, but I think they might have catered because they do cater.
Oh, of course.
So you can go and eat like at a restaurant.
Yep.
But you also could
It's a
be like
sit-down place.
You could also be like, hey guys,
it's my parents' 50th wedding
I'm
anniversary.
going to order ahead for 20 people first, and then try to get 20 people to come to my house for Pasta Pantry.
You know what I'm going to do? My favorite. I've grown up going to Pasta Pantry.
Oh, nice.
It's a staple in Sherwood Park. If you know, you know. And it is worth the drive out there. I will tell you that. Best Caesar salad going, in my opinion.
Oh, I love Caesar salad.
I'm going to go pick up because my favorite is the pasticcio. It's a bit of a...
Oh, it's like the baked pasta.
Yeah. It's a variation of lasagna with the white sauce, though.
Right. Yeah, it's good.
I'm going to get us a tray of pasticcio for the office.
For when?
Next week, bro.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something, by the way. I'm off Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it Wednesday, Thursday, because I'm off next Friday.
You can do it whenever it's convenient, but that's fine. John says, okay, Abby convinced me to push the thumbs. Just push that extra centimeter to reach the mouse. There it is. John's pushing through.
That was it. That's what we're talking about.
He's like, I could leave my hand here, or I could get it over to the mouse. So we appreciate that, John. We do like, I know sometimes some people are probably like, yeah, they're asking for the thumbs again. But it helps us build the algorithm. It's not just that we want the instant feedback. Oh, they just need people. They just need to feel liked. Whatever. We know you love Jay and that I'm annoying. That's well established. Yeah. But it does help build the algorithm in the digital universe to recommend the show to people on YouTube, which is pretty cool. We now need one thumb.
Look at you.
We now need one thumb. So Green and Gold kickoff show. Can you give us a teaser of anything special you and Wannick have planned, or do you want to leave that?
Well, you know, we always
does he not talk to you all day and then just walk in with some notes and be like, "Here's what we will be discussing, Jay." Okay.
Well, that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Generally doesn't talk to us peons, as he calls us.
Look at him sitting there.
Yeah, I know.
He just doesn't even react to anything.
We're gonna have our obviously question of the game. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna go at 3 questions leading into the game. So we're gonna go over all that. There's gonna be some audio, video clips from the week leading up to tonight's game, and then obviously I always give a prediction. Matt's not a predictor. So I will give my prediction on what I think this game's going to look like tonight. And we're going to talk about Maddie and Jay's big play of the day.
Let's go, girls.
That big play of the day on Play Alberta.
PlayAlberta.ca.
That is a good one. Play
It
Alberta is the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues: NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YAG50 and get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get started, which is pretty cool. We will have some final thoughts for this show. We will have a double word of the day. We hit the thumb threshold. Thank you very much. Like, imagine if somebody just turned that on and were like, they'd never listened to the show before. And they're like, we hit the thumb threshold. I'd be like, what? Are these guys harvesting thumbs?
And then we talk about, what was the Larry O'Brien for vasectomies? Yeah. Wow.
That was a great topic. So
that was good.
We'll throw we wound up with 2 off-topic topics.
Maybe
Yeah. What?
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to throw this out there. See what you think. If the Larry O'Brien trophy is handed out tonight.
Yes.
I want to regurgitate that off-topic topic to tomorrow's show.
Okay. So,
and just say, look, it was handed out. What is this actually for?
Maybe we'll do that. So
wrong answers only.
Who gets the Larry O'Brien trophy? Wrong answers only.
Yes.
What have you done? What's the award for? And then the other off-topic topic, and we still want submissions if you've been thinking about it or you're just tuning in for the end here on your way home, or maybe you're getting home and you put us on. What cover version of a song is better than the original? 780-218-9999. Text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, or if you're on YouTube, post in our chat, the nasty chat, and let us know what you think. All right, final update here from the Coop.
Connor McDavid spoke this morning, saying there's no rush to sign an extension with the Oilers just yet, adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was fighting a broken hand during the Stanley Cup final. From Commonwealth, the Elks go head-to-head against the Alouettes for their home opener. Tune into the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Matt Awanek and Jay Milne tee up the action coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. And in BC, Nathan Rourke of the Lions is questionable for Saturday's game against the Bombers. He missed practice 2 days in a row with an oblique injury. On the road, the Thunder and Pacers clash in Game 6. OKC with its first chance to win the NBA championship. Game starts at 6:30. For the Stingers, they take on the Surge from Calgary. Tip-off is at 7:30. EST's audio streams carrying the entire game. And MLB action saw Toronto lose 9-5 to Arizona. 4 games are live right now. Pirates up 4-2 on the Tigers in the 6th inning. Meanwhile, Edmonton hosts Bellingham Riverhawks, picking up a 6-4 win last night. Their series closer goes at 7:05. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Do they know they're in charge of a Stanley Cup contending team? They have the leverage. Why you're giving a third-line player an 8-year deal blows my mind. He was one of the worst players in the playoffs. Oh, but other teams are offering 4 and then 7. You know what you say, Mr. Stan? Trent? Bye. Gager, if there's a no movement, just take me out back and take me out.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. We are stationed in the banquet studio. Strike up some fun at the banquet bar, bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the banquet. Okay. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. If you want to text us, email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. We're up to 160 thumbs on YouTube, so good stuff there. We'll do a double word of the day in a few minutes. Released in the Nasty Chat, and this was my nomination for best cover song that's better than the original, Hurt by Johnny Cash, covered a Nine Inch Nails song. That got some mentions. So what would the top three be? Whiskey in the Jar and Turn the Page, all the two Metallica songs?
Turn the Page.
Okay.
I must say, I mean, Pat says in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Grumpy Cat, Flowers on the Wall by Eric Heatherly.
I don't even know that
I don't
one.
know that one.
Grumpy Cat knowledge is above and beyond us.
Probably.
You hugged me, eh?
What'd it feel like?
Like victory.
McBrown Mark says, best cover, What About Love by Heart, originally by Toronto?
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was a Heart song. All right. Shows you what I know. Is that all we got? Nothing else for the Larry O'Brien one, the guy that said it goes to the doctor who performed the most vasectomies in a year. I don't know if that's going to be topped.
How about this one from Lingus? I'm pretty sure the Larry O'Brien trophy is given to the person who gets down the hill the fastest chasing that cheese wheel. Conscious or unconscious, broken bones or not, first gets the O'Brien. That is truly a crazy event.
Yeah, it almost sounds like something a little kid could get for winning a soapbox derby.
We can, I'm sure we will go anywhere.
The fastest in the U8 category, getting the Larry O'Brien trophy. And it was a family of O'Briens that started the soapbox racing in that town.
Yes.
So U8 is the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Right.
U10 is the Steve O'Brien trophy.
Don't forget the John O'Brien.
U12 is John O'Brien. U14 is Mary O'Brien, the matriarch of the family.
I like it.
It's all soapbox derby stuff. Maybe we'll get a soapbox derby submission for Athlete of the Week.
Ooh,
for Pasta Pantry. That'd be crazy.
Week we would name it the Pasta Pantry Larry O'Brien.
And just like buy a
The Pasta Pantry Larry O'Brien Athlete of the Week.
That's right. Oh my goodness. We have too much fun on this show. 5:46, Matthew Awanek, Jason Milne going to take over at 6 o'clock. We're with you for about another 8 or 9 minutes. And then you guys do the Green and Gold kickoff show. So Oilers players did speak today. Leon Draisaitl had this to say about a contract extension for his teammate and friend Connor McDavid.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't really talked to Connor about it yet. There comes a time where we talk about it, but there's nothing that I can tell you right now that you want to hear or you need to hear. That's his situation, and he will do what's best for him and his family. And do I want him here forever? Yes, of course. I think everybody does. There's not much I can give you there.
And Connor McDavid was asked, what's your message to the fans?
My message to the fans would be to keep being patient and keep believing. Because, they've been through a lot, obviously, as you said, just like, our team has. The emotional highs, the lows, and, I look at what these playoff runs do to my family. It's hard on them. It's hard on the fans. It's hard on everybody. But ultimately, when that day comes, it'll all be worth it. These moments are tough now, and it's tough to look to that, but when that moment comes, it'll be it'll be worth the wait for sure.
I do kind of like that he mentioned how stressful it is for his family watching the games too, just like everybody else. So that was pretty interesting.
Elliot Friedman just sent out a tweak. A tweet.
For sure. Make sure it's not a fake Friedman. It's the real one.
Let me.
People,
I have notifications on.
People like to be cheeky.
He is saying or reporting. Let me just pull it up here, Reid. That the Kraken have acquired Mason Marchment.
Oh, interesting.
For a 3rd and a 4th round pick for the with the Dallas Stars.
Because I think there was some speculation that they wouldn't be able to keep Marchment because they just re-signed Duchesne, right? And Robertson needs a deal. And I said to you earlier today, I've always kind of liked Mason Marchment.
Well, you asked me this. You said, would you take
Mason Marchment if you could get him? Well, so much for that.
He's gone.
We can't even discuss that in the offseason. So Mason Marchment to Seattle for the 3rd and 4th. Thanks for catching that, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely is Elliot Friedman's real account because it's got the check mark. He has 889,000 followers on Twitter. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, he's good at his job. So Mason Marchment goes to Seattle. That's good for the Kraken. It makes a team in the Oilers division, I think, a little bit better. Maybe they got a ways to go, but that's a good acquisition for them. All right, let's get to it. We reached our thumb threshold. Double word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Clearly, some people in the Nazi chat don't like Marchment as much as me. Buster says Marchment wasn't that noticeable last series. The Big Uke says pure salary dump. He didn't have a good playoff for sure. I mean, you look at his regular season numbers, 22 goals, 47 points in 62 games. 5 points and 1 goal in 18 playoff games. Fair enough. But I think like on a team's third line, he could look pretty good. Third line, Frederic, Marchment, somebody else. Well, it's not going to happen now.
Yeah, it's
hypothetical.
Very hypothetical.
I think that would have been good.
Well,
anyway,
almost impossible.
Yes. Well, it will be now. All right. Let's, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, double word of the day. Fire away, buddy. Elks home opener. Let's see if I can inspire them.
First word of the day.
I'm sure they're sitting around the locker room thinking like, well, we got to see how Reid does.
Waiting with bated breath. Emancipation. First word of the day. Emancipation.
Hang on. I just don't know how many M's there are at the beginning. I think there's just one. EMANCIPATION. So I know that in the United States, with with slavery, the slaves were emancipated. So it has to do. It has to do. Well, I'll say it's freedom from slavery. I didn't know if it was specifically related to slavery or if it was any type of freedom, but is it specific to slavery?
Emancipation refers to the act of freeing someone from the restraint, control, or power of another.
Okay.
It is used especially for the act of freeing someone from slavery.
Okay,
so you nailed it.
Pretty much, yeah.
2 for 2, bruh.
And I had to think about the spelling because when I first put it down, I put 2 M's.
Yeah, I could see how you would come to that conclusion. Second word of the day, soothe fast.
Oh, what?
Second word of the day, soothe fast.
Soothe fast.
This is one word. Don't overthink it.
Gotta be this way.
Do not overthink this one.
SOOTHEFAST.
Oh, you overthought it. Do you want to take another crack?
SOOTHFAST. Yeah, I didn't get it right. I thought it would have an E in it. Soothe fast. This means to quickly relieve somebody of their agony. I I need a soothe fast over here. I don't know. It's got to have something to do with relief
Nurse,
or
get
calming.
this doctor a soothe fast.
It's got to have something to do with calming somebody down.
It is an adjective based on the truth. So the jury recognized the witness's soothe-fast account in their verdict.
Oh, interesting. So what did I get? 2 out of 4?
2.18.
Why am I getting a 1.8?
You were directionally there.
For what? The
Soothe-fast,
definition?
the spelling.
No, the spelling was wrong. I think you're being too kind to me.
I didn't say
You're too kind, Jason.
I didn't
Milne.
say soothy fast.
No, true, but but soothe, the word soothe ends in an E, doesn't it?
Yes.
So that's why when you were like, don't overthink it, I thought, okay, just spell the 2 words.
Well, then maybe I misled you.
Spelt. Well, no, because the first thing I wrote down had the E in it. I think. I went with my gut, which it's usually helpful. But emancipation has 1 M.
It does.
All right. Did I say something's dumb?
Dumb?
Yeah, just now? Did I misspeak something? Okay.
No. Did I say dumb?
Well, no, you were looking at me like I might have said something shocking or I tripped over.
Well, Reid, that's how I look at you most of the time.
Yes, that's true. All right. Good stuff today. Thanks for help letting us tee up the Elks home opener for you and take you through the player comments from your Edmonton Oilers. GM and GM Stan Bowman and Coach Chris Knobloch will speak tomorrow at 11 a.m., so we'll have you covered on that on our show tomorrow. Jay's sticking around with Matthew Iwanek for the Green and Gold kickoff show. I'm going to the game. I'm having Zach Kubish and the glue guy Jason Milne. I'm Reid. Talk to you later.